This has been Broad, and you're watching Born to be Wild.
Greeting, traveler.
Welcome everybody to another episode of Born to be Wild, a Wild exclusive Hearthstone podcast where we have fun hanging out with friends, talking about the Wild format of Hearthstone and spotlighting and showcasing members of the Wild community. I'm your host, Nate Wolf, and joining me, as always, two of my very favorite people, Mr. Mike Lowe. How are you doing today?
Good. How you guys doing today?
Good. Yeah, it's good to see you. And Hydra, welcome back.
Thank you. I'm super stoked to be back. I'm ready for the show. Fridays are always awesome, and thanks for having me, man.
Yeah, absolutely. Missed you guys last week, so it's good to have you back. Had fun hanging out with Blue Train and with Electric Sheep City. That was super cool. I almost said Goliath because we were chatting between the show last week. We've got an upcoming lore episode in the not too distant future, so that'll be really fun. But anyways, we have a very special guest joining us tonight. And so without further ado, let me introduce to you Mr. MTG Squirrel, meme deck, aficionado, I think is the right word. Yeah. But the fact that you're able to combine like the meme decks with consistent top Legend finishes is super awesome. So it's definitely a lot of fun, and very happy to welcome you to the show. So thanks for joining us tonight.
Yes, thank you for coming.
Yeah, no problem. I'm excited to be here. Always wanted to kind of hop on here and chat, so should be a good time.
Hey, that's super cool. Hey, so for those of our listeners or our watchers who are not as familiar with you, can you tell us a little bit about yourself, as much or as little as you're willing to share, but kind of like how long you've been playing, why you like Wild, that kind of thing?
Yeah, sure. So I've always kind of been into the different trading card games. I started it out in Magic, and I played that for a good number of years. And then I kind of hopped over into Hearthstone. I got in there pretty early on, like right after beta closed. So like when the game actually went live. And I kind of like that just because it was a nice blend of online, like you get all the benefits of being able to instantly sort your collection and build decks quickly, and then also have that trading card experience. So that's kind of how I jumped into it. And then if you guys don't know about me, I like to just have a lot of fun. I have a lot of experience with different card games, so I usually perform pretty well. And I just like to kind of jam memes on ladder. Usually I do pretty well with it. I think, there's like some kind of list floating around where it's like top 200 all times. And I'm usually kind of like in the middle of that. So that's where I'm at right now.
Nice.
Yeah.
One of the things that we usually will ask people is, how did you come up with your username? The MTG part I get, but why the squirrel?
The squirrel. Okay, yeah. So it was back in about Saga Block for Magic, and there was they had this guy Deranged Hermit. He came out and he was pretty popular in different decks. And so that was kind of where my username came from. And actually what we used to do is we used to go to Friday Night Magic.
Okay.
Before play Warcraft 3. And like me and my friends had this thing where we would just like each make an account and we would try to get to 20-0, like who could get to 20-0 the fastest. And so one of my accounts I made was MTG Squirrel. And then when I started Hearthstone, I just had that account as like a leftover.
So did you play a lot of Warcraft games before Hearthstone?
I played Warcraft 3. I didn't get into WoW just because I saw it like sucking people in, and I was like, I myself. It looks like a great game, but I just know I would just like fall right into it.
I know. I'm in the same boat. My kid brother played a ton of it, and like I don't know. I think part of it is it's a lot more fun if you've got friends to play with. But also, like, he must have sunk, I don't know, hundreds and hundreds of hours into that game, and I was afraid of doing that myself because, like, I know I would.
Yeah, that's where I was. I was like, I just know who I am and like what it would do to me, and I was like, I just can't have that for myself. I was like, just having 1 or 2 games is enough.
Yeah, everything gets more complicated too, and you add family and kids and stuff into the mix.
Oh yeah,
it's like, no, I can't drive you to school. I'm playing Hearthstone right now.
Yeah,
like I'm playing WoW.
Yeah, especially when your raids start at like 10 o'clock at night. And because I remember I worked with at a company where we had a company guild, and we had raids that started at like 9 p.m., 10 p.m. or something like that. So of course everybody was coming to work late, and our bosses were all giving us crap. But the funny thing was the bosses were also in the guild. And like it made no sense.
Jeez.
Yeah. That's funny.
What else?
Yeah.
What else do you play besides Hearthstone? You still dip your finger in Magic a little bit?
I just started again. I took like a 10-year break almost, and so I'm just getting started again with EDH, and it's been fun. I wouldn't say I'm nearly as competitive as I used to be with it, but I mean I was able to kind of just build a fun deck out of like some bulk rares, and yeah, it was a good time.
Yeah, I was gonna say, are you playing like paper Magic? Or are you playing like on what are we playing now on Cockatrice or something like that?
It was just paper Magic with a webcam. Yeah.
Oh, okay. It gets so expensive. Anytime people think that Hearthstone is expensive, it's like, no, you have no clue. You have no clue.
Yeah, they have no idea.
Right.
I
try that out, try and get a group together on Cockatrice or something virtual, because this whole going through stacks and stacks of cards and investing real money, I don't know if that's for me.
Yeah, no, and the beauty of Cockatrice, I mean, it definitely looks dated, but like you have access to every single card ever, make any deck and it's free. So it's cool. I mean, I wish that they had Commander in MTG Arena, but it doesn't look like it. And I don't personally want to sink another, $1,000 into some card game. Been there, done that, and it's can't afford it anymore.
Only 1,000?
Shh.
Yeah, I think I'm past that.
Yeah.
No, we were joking about it. I mean, I think it was week before last. We were talking a little bit about it. I think we were talking about Yu-Gi-Oh for a couple minutes, and but even then, like my kid got into Pokemon, and we started playing in some tournaments and stuff, and I decided I wanted to build a good deck, and like I think I put together a good competitive deck, and it cost about $300. It's like, oh man, but like. I don't want just one deck. Like, I get bored with one deck. I want like 5 decks, right? Like, nope. I just had to stop.
That's the beauty of Hearthstone.
And base and Magic.
Yeah. Well, and I mean, I think what we've talked about it a couple of times, but what's been really interesting that they can do with a digital card game is when they make nerfs or buffs or changes or swap the artwork or whatever, like they just push a patch through and it's done. Like, or they decide, hey, we're doing a brawl and we're going to ban these cards for it. Like, your collection isn't suddenly like invalidated or whatever. And then they can kind of do some experimental things with the digital that they can't do in real life. And Magic's got some crazy, complicated rule sets and complicated cards, but certain things that you could only do in a digital version where you shuffle multiple copies into your deck, or you create a like your Kazakus or something, like create a potion, or Zephyr's wish for the perfect card
Created by
any of the created by, there you go. So
or even just like the mechanical things of just like taking your opponent's cards. I don't know if like in Magic, like you take your opponent's cards and then like 3 rounds later, you're like, oh, I got this random card in my deck.
Oops.
Yeah. So, but yeah, that's a lot of fun too with Hearthstone. Is just you know, they can do the overlays and the different animations for the cards and just make it fun, you know.
Yeah.
You
for
also
sure.
pointed something out, Squirrel, that I didn't really think about. That's a beauty of Hearthstone is the automatic sorting of your cards.
Yes.
Right? Like they're always in order. They're always sorted. They're always by class. There's no messing that up. I didn't even think about that at all.
Yeah.
That's a good point.
Especially like as your collection grows, it becomes a large portion of your time is just managing your collection, you know. And if you don't do it from the beginning, then you're stuck, you know, spending hours. You know, you could spend like an hour, 2 hours looking for like a card, you know, or it's just, I don't know.
That's true.
When you get into a team environment and everything, it gets even harder.
Well, I don't know, and like, you guys ever have like a great card and then it gets like scratched or bent or dented or something? Like,
yeah,
that absolutely horrifies me. And so I love that, like, I can't damage these, you know. It's or what really killed me, I think, in playing you know, Magic or Pokemon or any of these is like, okay, well, with your like neutral cards or whatever, like this is some great card and it's a $10 card and I want to run 4 of them in every single deck, or 2 of them, or whatever the limit is. And so in digital, it's like, cool, I only need 2 copies. But if I'm playing in paper, I need 2 copies times how many decks I got. And dude, it just, it adds up so fast. So anyways, I kind of digress there, but I don't know. I think we got it pretty good. So
Agreed.
So I've seen you over the years swap out your avatar with different squirrels, and it's always been very entertaining. Where do you come up with these? Where do you find this stuff, man? It's pretty good.
Oh, I don't know. I just search for random little squirrel pictures and stuff, and I'm sure there's some artists out there that are mad at me, but you know, there's some fun squirrel things. I think like right now I got 2 squirrels like zapping the crap out of each other with lightning bolts. So. Yeah. But
oh man.
I need my own personal like graphic designer, you know, to like help me out there.
We should talk after. I might be able to hook you up. Hey, classic throwback Danny Donuts question. You eat mac and cheese with a fork or a spoon?
Fork. And when I was a kid, I used to like to put each one of the noodles on each one of the tines.
Yeah. Yes, you're a champion amongst men. They're like,
yeah,
I love it. I've got a question. You love to meme. You love to climb the ladder with meme decks. What is your all-time favorite meme deck that you've played on ladder?
Oh, all-time favorite meme deck is got to be the banana Shutterwalk deck. So basically, I took like Shutterwalk and then cut all the win conditions out of it. Added King Mukla and Loth, so that you would add like 35 cost bananas to their hand and just so if it have a win condition, it would just be like, you know, the glacial shards would freeze all their stuff, and then they would have, you know, they couldn't draw any cards anymore, they couldn't play any spells, and they couldn't attack you, and then you would just slowly kind of beat them down with Shutterwalks. So that was pretty hilarious.
That's amazing.
Yeah, that's a good one. And I started messing around too, like for I think you can do it in Turtle Mage too now. I started messing around with it. So if you could probably get that same combo going. But
I like it. That's hilarious.
Yeah. There's some decent ones right now. I mean, like you can mess around with Pogos. I was messing around with Pogos. I ran into Nate on the ladder the other day. That was pretty fun. There's the Mechathune Rogue, which is halfway decent. There's man.
I definitely think that Yeah, number one, like I think that you can ladder with a meme deck at the moment and do okay. Yeah. And I also think that the meta is still largely unexplored, at least not fully fleshed out. I mean, I know we've got tier lists and but I think that there's still a lot of stuff that people haven't really messed with because we got all distracted with Darkglare Warlock. And I keep thinking about, I wanted to try Even Shaman with that new Skullomance card that does the spell burst or whatever, and then totally forgot about it because I was having fun playing other stuff. And so there's still a lot that we can do. I mean, it's crazy to think that the the set came out about a month ago, just under a month ago. So
yeah, we're starting to get the balance patches and stuff too now.
Yeah, I purposefully did not dust anything because I kept waiting for. I've always dusted on like day one, and then I started really watching like Guy Grumpy and getting really jealous of his like giant pile of dust, and then I see people wait until they announce the nerfs and then dust those cards to get the extra. And it has always happened to me in the past where I dusted stuff and then they announced nerfs like 2 days later. And so just after seeing all the Demon Hunter stuff that got nerfed last time, I thought, you know what, I'm just gonna wait.
Yeah, that's a lot.
But
yeah, for sure.
What about your all-time favorite? What do you think the best class is to meme with? Like, what's the easiest for you to create meme decks with?
Easiest to create meme decks. There's a lot to do around Shutterwalk, so I think Shaman's a really strong one. Druid, just because you get all the ramp. Like you can cram some pretty silly stuff into like the Aviana package. Kind of like do a victory lap once you get like the Aviana. You can be like Aviana Tog, swap your deck, play Goose, zap your board, or just I think whenever you have access to a lot of mana, you can meme pretty hard, or whenever you can create loops. So like the Shutterwalk loop is a good one. I think like Mage has the potential now with Turtle Mage, where you can create those loops and you can get some pretty fun stuff going.
Yeah, Turtle Mage has been getting pretty good too. I mean, it's not. I don't think it's fully refined yet, but I saw Mom hit Legend, I don't know, yesterday with it or something like that. Like, man, it's day 2, day 3. Slow down. But there's definitely we've got a lot of degenerate stuff in Wild, which is why I prefer it. So
yeah.
That's format. So sometimes when you have a really broken format, it actually gets a little bit easier to meme because you'll have maybe just 1 or 2 top tier decks, and then if you can beat them consistently, then you can throw in a bunch of hot garbage that's fun. So
I agree.
That's smart.
But it's hard when turn 3 there's 4 giants in my face.
Yes, there is. Yeah.
Only for a few more days. So we're now, the end is near.
Hopefully this balance patch helps with that.
Yeah. Well, we'll get there soon. Definitely lots and lots of news tonight. Not only do we have nerfs, but then all kinds of other announcements too. So do you guys have any other questions for Squirrel before we move on?
Yeah, speaking of memes, have you tried is it Keymaster plus Naturalize? Have you tried that yet?
Keymaster plus Naturalize.
Ooh.
No, I haven't. So I've done like the Floop Loops with Naturalize before. That's pretty fun. But I haven't done
to keep getting mana.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah, this one it'll give you a copy of the card that they draw for 1 cost.
Oh, okay. I'll have to check that out. That's pretty cool.
It's pretty fun.
Right. Yeah, we had talked about that on the review show, and like I kept wanting to, and it's like one of those things I keep forgetting to try it now. But
Okay.
I like
try
the
other
idea.
stuff because the glare lock is everywhere. So I just been trying other stuff.
Yeah.
That deck
Sometimes
is,
when
deck is
like
crazy.
that, you just gotta like be like, okay, if I queue into them, I lose, whatever, and then just they queue into them, you lose, and then you go on to your next game and play a real game.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, sometimes you gotta like be like, okay, today I'm gonna play serious, or today I'm gonna kind of meme around. So.
By the way, you're playing in THL, right? The Wild THL.
Oh yeah, yep.
So
I got a pretty decent team too.
what's your team name?
So right now we're the Anoyo team, which is Mad at Arms. That's a former team name. Last time we did it, we were Detroit versus everybody because we all pretty much live in the Detroit area.
Okay.
But this time it's 5v5. Last time it was 3v3, so we brought in a couple people.
Yeah, I played last season. I'm not playing this season, but Mike is in this season. So, well, you guys will face off against each other. Who's on your team?
Who you got, Mike? Oh, is that mine?
Yeah, well, who's on both of yours?
I got Doin. It's me, Mike V, Mad at Arms, Slight, and myself.
Okay. Wow. I know, right? Who you got, Mike?
Oh yeah, so got the same three from last season. Got me, Sheep, Doc, and then we brought in Brian O'Brien, and we brought in Draco Cat from Hype Horizon.
Oh,
Okay.
nice. Okay.
Cool.
All right. Very cool. Yeah, I don't know. They had asked me if I wanted to play this season, and I was tired when they asked me. I was like, I'm gonna pass. and then it was like too late, and I was like, can I still get in? Like, no, there's no more spots left. Okay, but I'm excited especially to watch these, and I think the teams this time are stacked. It was good last time with 3v3, but I think 5 would be more fun. So I'm excited to see how all these go. And
to me, five makes it where like now you're gonna see like who the clear cut like better teams are. Like there won't be like I feel like there'll be like 3 to 4 like dominant teams because it's 3 different conferences. But
well,
with it being 5 people per team, like I feel like it's gonna show it.
It was interesting last time with only 3 people on the team because if one of us was having an off night, it could swing, a loss or a victory or whatever for the whole team.
Yeah, 3v3 is crazy because like those exact moments where it's like, all right, if one person loses, the other 2 got to win. But then like when the first 2 win, the last guy is like, all right, I got a week off. Like
exactly. Oh, I know. I'll tell you what though, Craig had told me that exact thing. Like, oh, you and Danny already won. Like, I can phone it in. No, don't do that. Like, you're gonna mess up our stats. Do they stream the games?
Yes.
Is it just is it like?
So
there's like a weekly showcase. Yeah. Sorry, I'm sorry to interrupt you. Go for it.
Oh no, it's all good. My bad. I was talking over you. They try to get Friday, Saturday, Sunday matches. I believe for all formats. I can look in the Discord throughout the show and bring it back up later.
Yeah, maybe we can add a. I don't know. Maybe we can add or put that stuff on the THL channel. So folks can watch the streams. I mean, it's a bunch of really good players playing really fun decks. So I don't think it gets much better than that.
Yeah, I believe we have Team Hearth Legends auto-hosted on Twitch. I'm like 90% sure.
Sweet. Okay. I like it. Okay. Well, very cool. I'm going to move the show on a tiny bit. Before we do so, I just want to give a big shout out to our patrons, especially Shokunin. Thank you so much for everything that you do for the show, supporting us. Any little donation helps. Every time there's like a new something or other in the shop, we'll usually try to do a giveaway, and we've got a website that costs us money that we pay out of pocket for. And so the support from patrons really helps with things like that. So thank you very much to our patrons. If you are interested in contributing at all, you can go to patreon.com/borntobewildhs. That's it. That's my pitch. I don't really want to be asking for money, but if you are interested in supporting the show, that's how you can do it. Or we have super awesome t-shirts. Hydra is wearing one tonight. Yeah, they look good.
Nice.
They look good.
Yeah.
You guys were out last week. You should have seen the one that I wore last week. So you can get that logo in full color like that, or you can get it in all white or all black, and then on like any different color shirt. So I got a blue shirt with the white logo on it, and it looks super cool.
Oh yeah, that would look sick.
It turned out like way better than I had even hoped. And so if you guys are interested in checking out some of the merch, that also supports us. And if you go to borntobewildhs.com, you can look at whatever type of stuff that we have.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Okay.
Anyways.
So, how the heck is everybody doing this week? What have you guys been up to? I've been gone. Mike, you've been gone. Let's start with you, Mike. What have you been up to? How's it going?
That's going pretty good. This week, I didn't really climb that much because of the situation with the Warlock deck. So, just been trying to play other stuff, trying to build towards what might be coming next. Got some THL practice in. Had a match today. Went to game 5. It was a priest match, so you know how it goes. Whoever draws a combo first.
Yeah.
So lost game 5. Split. I mean, not a split. Sorry, lost game 5. So at least I brought two points to the team there.
Nice.
Got another THL match tomorrow for Legacy. But yeah, I'm just waiting until, was it the 8th? All this goes down?
They said next week. I assume it's on Tuesday. It's usually on a Tuesday, but I guess we'll see.
Right on.
Yeah.
I don't think, all they said was next week. I think it is the 8th, but I don't think they announced it, so I guess we'll see.
Well, what about you, Squirrel? What have you been up to this last week?
I've been practicing some of my THL decks and ladder, and I'm on 10x, so it's going up there pretty fast. And then I didn't really want to hop into Legend yet, so I cut it over to just doing like a Reno, doing the Reno Maluka Lotheb thing, and that was kind of fun. Yeah.
Sounds really fun.
Caught a couple people in that lock, so that was cool. Got the T-shirt on that one.
Yeah, I agree with that avoiding Legend part because it's annoying right now.
Yeah, I'm kind of with you too, Mike. Like I kind of want to wait till this patch until I really try hard. You know,
I've never been annoyed in this game until this. Like, you can't get past turn. You can't get past turn 3. Sorry, it's your turn. My bad. I mean,
no. Like either turn 3 they can just drop a bunch of giants on you, or turn 5 they just wait till like turn 5 or 6 and then drop a bunch of giants into the Lotheb. So it's not really fun or interactive, but
it wasn't as bad before they started adding Lotheb, because you know, you at least you had a chance to deal with it, but then when they lock you out on top of it, it's like, come on now.
Yeah. So like I said, I was just practicing some of my THL decks on ladder, getting a feel for those, and then in my real life, I started doing this like whole life challenge with my group of friends and some of my family, and so like that's just kind of like really just being a good human, you know, like eating right, sleeping, that kind of stuff. So that's been what I've been up to this week.
Nice.
That sounds like a good idea.
Yeah, you know, you should eat right.
eating and sleeping, yeah.
And caffeine, that kind of stuff. That's good life advice, whether we follow it or don't.
Yeah.
It's amazing how much, like, you know, get 8 hours of sleep, drink some water, how good that you actually feel.
Yeah, I had to myself, it was like, you know, 60 ounces of water. I'm like, how many glasses of water is that? That's crazy. But it does make you feel a lot better, like you said. Yeah. So.
Crazy.
How about you, Nate? What have you been up to?
A little bit of this, a little bit of that. I have been playing a little bit of Hearthstone since the reset. I was expecting lots and lots of Darkglare, and so I was playing Damringer's Odd Warrior. That's your basic Odd Warrior package, but then it has like the Kobold Sticky Fingers to steal Kingsbane, and then it also has, God, I can't think of the name of the card off the top of my head. I'll have to check the Discord, but the one that you swap the top deck of each of like top card of the deck.
Mischief Maker.
Yeah. So what you do is you wait until your opponent plays Pull Celt, and then you play Mischief Maker, and then they concede. It's really awesome.
Yeah.
It's so funny. And so my win rate against Darkglare Warlock was like ridiculously high. But the deck is so boring to play. The matches take a really long time, and when you get into either a mirror match or the priest matchup is not particularly good. But I was happy because I was able to outlast Darkglare Warlock. I was able to out armor some Reno Priest. I was able to out armor Quest Mage. So I don't know. I mean, it's viable. I was doing great because early on, because I was seeing lots and lots of aggro, and I was just smashing them. And then I kind of hit this wall of combo decks and just started losing. So I switched over. Was playing one of the decks that Squirrel brought tonight. It's Duin's Beast Taunt Druid. Ended up, and I've got the 10-star multiplier as well. Switched over to that, went 4-0 and sailed into D4. So that's where I'm at right now, and then I haven't played the last couple of days. I've been playing some Darksiders on the computer.
Saw that in Discord. Sorry,
Yeah, I was wondering if that was just running in the background or you were just always playing it.
No, I've been playing a lot of it. I'm like at the very end of the game, and I'm trying to collect all the little hidden things everywhere. But it's a lot of fun. I mean, it's a basic, like one of your, it's kind of like God of War or one of those type of, you just mash the buttons. I bought an Xbox controller for the PC so I can plug it in and play just like I'm playing on a console. It's good. It's good. So aside from that, I'm trying to think if there was anything new. Not a ton. Today's my birthday. I was already older than you guys, but now I'm even older. So.
Oh, today's your birthday?
It is. Yeah. So,
happy birthday.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate it.
You took the day off, didn't you?
I did take the day off, so that was nice.
Wait, so today's your birthday?
Yeah.
Why did you cancel the show?
That's, it's funny that you say that because my wife asked me that, but I love doing the show. The show's so much fun. So
your wife asked you that too.
I love doing the show. It's a blast. But I've got all weekend off, and then Monday's a holiday for us, so I've got a long weekend anyway.
The next 3 days off. Okay.
Yep. So it'll be a nice long weekend, and but anyways, it should be kind of cool. I've got my computer and stuff set up here in the loft of we've got kind of it's like a condo townhouse type thing where it's like a 3-level unit, and my little recording area is up on the 3rd floor loft type area, and she got me all these shelves and lighting and stuff for the back wall, so when the green screen's down, and then I went out and bought a bunch of the Warcraft cute but deadly little figures. So what do they have? Illidan and Sylvanas and Anduin and a whole bunch of. They're so cool. They're a little pricey, but I love them. So anyways,
I'm gonna have to spend more money.
Yeah, you know what? I'll show you. The tricky thing is if you just buy them off the shelf, they come in like mystery boxes, right? So you'd have to, and and they have like rarities. So if I'm looking for Sylvanas or whatever, it's like I've got a 1 out of 36 chance to get it. Like, dude, I'm not gonna buy 36 boxes at like $10 or $15 a pop. Like, forget that. I'm gonna buy
$15 a box.
It was something like that. I was like, no. I'll go to eBay and I'll buy one that somebody already opened the box and found the right one, and pay an extra, $10 or whatever, because I don't want to just go buy a bunch of random ones and get ones that I don't want.
No.
And I think the normal ones are not bad, but they start getting expensive because there was some. They had a bunch of older ones that were like Comic-Con exclusive, and they're super cool, but like you just can't buy them anymore. So you got to get them off eBay and stuff. So, but anyways, in the near future, like one of these days, I may not be on the green screen anymore. You guys can see the shelf behind me with my little toys on it when they come in the mail in the next couple weeks. So I spent more money than I would like to admit buying little children's toys so I could put them on the shelves on my wall. And I know that what's going to happen is either my kid's going to play with them or my cats are going to eat them or knock them off the shelf, but it's all right. Anyways, aside from that, it's great. I'm having a lot of fun. I've been watching Lovecraft County on HBO, and I really like it a lot. That's been a fun show. So anyways, that's it for me.
Cool. Yeah, for me, I got back from my trip earlier this week. It was a blast just to get away from work for a while. I had 5 days, then the weekend, then another 2 days. So I had 7 days plus the 2 weekends like combined. So it was this nice big stretch where I got to do nothing. Other than we went camping for 6 nights, and that was great. It was really good, but I was worn out by the end.
Somebody asked what Vancouver, BC was, and I said BC stands for beach camping. So
yeah, I saw that.
Beach camping.
I mean, that's basically what you were doing, right?
Yeah, that's what we were doing. But that was funny. When someone asked that, that was hilarious. But so we did that. But when we got back, I was just like, we were in the sun for 6 nights, right? So we were in the sun that whole time. And then the day we got back, we had a big family barbecue in the backyard. And I was out there and I was barbecuing chicken wings. And I'm standing there and I've been in the sun for 6 days straight. And it's blazing hot outside. And I've got this heat coming off the barbecue hitting my head. And someone came and looked at me and they're like, "Are you okay?" I'm like, "No, I don't feel okay." And they're like, "You should go look in the mirror." And I went and looked in the mirror and my head was completely beet red.
Oh, no.
Yeah. And so I came inside and I stood in front of the air conditioner for a while and went back out and I tried again. And eventually I was like, I got to go lay down, guys.
Uh-oh.
So
you get like heat stroke or something?
Yeah, I think so. Like
Sounds
it was
like
just, it was just too much. Like I said, it was a full straight week outside and then came back and I was over the barbecue and it was just way too much. I had to lay down. I cranked the air conditioner basically to as like cold as it would possibly get in my bedroom and shut the door and laid there for like 3 hours just in shorts.
Wow.
And then after that I was okay. Drank a bunch of water. But so that was that. But it was a good vacation. And then Hearthstone wise, I did the same thing as you, Nate. I was playing the Rotted Zombies Odd Warrior, and it's super boring, but there's some times where it's super funny when you pull off the Mischief Maker, or like I only got to do the Sticky Finger. Like I did Sticky Finger twice. I did it to a skull once. But I did it to a Kingsbane rogue that was just beating me down. I think it was an 11 attack weapon. And I had armored up as much as I can possibly do. But he just kept hitting me. And then it was his next swing, I'd be dead. And I played Sticky Finger, and it was the best instant concede I've ever seen. I was like, yes!
When it works, it's so cool. I don't know. I was so sad because when I did it with the Mischief Maker, it was against a priest player, played Lorekeeper Polkelt. I played Mischief Maker, and then they conceded, and I was so upset because I didn't get to see what card I got. And I assumed, it was probably Anduin or maybe it was Reno Jackson. I don't know.
Yeah, the same thing happened to me with it was a Mechathune Warlock. I Mischief Makered, and then it was an insta concede on that one. I was like, okay, cool, I'll take that because he only had like 2 cards left in their deck, so it was probably 2 combo pieces that they needed. So as soon as I did it, they were bye. So it was good fun. So it's a boring deck, but there's just the times that it's kind of worth it. It's fun, and yeah, it was amazing day 1 versus all of the aggro. Like it just shut everybody out. Like even I remember I ended up dropping 2 Death Lords in a row against aggro, and they're like, okay, and then they roped me.
Oh, man.
What I like is that because it plays so slow, like I could be watching Netflix on one screen or Hulu or whatever, and be playing Odd Warrior on the other screen, and just it's nice and slow, and I don't have to think too hard. I mean, you just want to hit. They call it Button Warrior for a reason, right? I mean,
yeah.
So
I will say I did lose to. I did lose to one aggro deck though, and that was an even face hunter that was playing a secret package, and those 3/5s that all go. They all went face because I didn't have anything on board, and they top out with Zul'jin. That deck,
interesting.
In the Grand Slam.
Yeah, it basically my hand did not line up. They would fill the board, and I didn't have any good board clears, so I'd have to use multiple cards to clear their board, like bash something, and then like play an AOE and all this stuff, and then eventually they Zul'jin, and I'm like, oh. After I like used all, it all came back. I had used most of my removal. I had some left in the deck, but at that point it was too late.
I will say there was 2 times when I was able to get lethal against Darkglare Warlock with bash to the face. It was so funny.
I saw that.
Okay,
Yeah.
I'm so used to I'm not used to using bash. I'm used to using it on minions, right? I had to do a double take because I didn't realize I could use it to go face.
Yeah, go face.
Yep. But that's my week. So
cool. Well, hey, one of the things that we like to do in this show is keep an eye out for folks who are playing wild mode and hit Legend for the first time. So we've got 3 tonight, and there's some friends of ours, which is always extra exciting. So want to do a couple shout outs here. So Ye Old Mole, first time Wild Legend. Big thanks to Nate Wolf TCG and everyone that's been on Born to Be Wild podcast. That's super cool. Love to see it. And I can't tell what deck it is from the screenshot. It looks like maybe some kind of token druid or something, but it's hard for me to tell. But congrats.
Congrats.
Yeah, super cool. We love to see it. Next up is Matuna from 1600 Dust. So number 1, first time Legend period, but first time Legend in Wild.
That's awesome.
With Darkglare.
That's even better.
Now's the time to do it though, right before it gets nerfed. So
yep.
And looking back at the times, like I hit Legend way back when with Paladin with Call to Arms before it got nerfed. Like you got to use that stuff while it's still cheap, or before it gets destroyed, or even that. Like I hit Legend with Odd Demon Hunter before all the nerfs went through, and I don't know. Someone told me one time that like I was complaining about using the broken cards. Don't you feel nasty? I'm like, no, man. if you are not using the most broken, disgusting cards, then you're putting yourself at a disadvantage.
Yeah,
like, yeah,
easily.
that's a really good point. So, anyways, but hey, Matuna Helper, we like to see it. I'm very, very happy for you, dude. So
yeah, for real.
that's super cool. And then one that popped up just before we went on the show tonight from our Discord channel. I don't know how to pronounce the name. Power Banich? Benach? I don't know. He says, too dumb to take a freaking screenshot on my phone. But first time Wild Legend in August with pure Libram Pally. No deck tracker, so I don't really know my exact win rate, but it felt like a slow, steady climb. I always thought if I hit a losing streak, I'll switch to a top tier deck, but in the end, it wasn't necessary. He says, haven't touched the deck since hitting Legend. It's just too exhausting, but probably not as exhausting as recording a 10-hour card review show.
Wow. What a shot.
The subtweet.
Oh, that's good stuff. Good stuff.
Damn. Power Banach. All right.
I like it, though. We'd love to see it. It makes me very happy.
Yeah, that's cool.
There's something, I think something to be said for celebrating the success of other people. I don't know. Makes me happy. So very, very proud of you guys. And I remember that feeling, when you hit Legend for the first time, it's like this big weight has been lifted. And I don't know. Now I feel like obligated to do it every month. But it's different, it's definitely different. But anyhow, lots and lots and lots of news. So I'm going to move past the mic over.
Yeah, let's do it.
And let's go through all this stuff. And I've got artwork up. So for the folks who are listening to the audio version of this podcast and not watching live or on YouTube, just know that there's a video version available. And as we go through the news items, as we discuss decks, that there are graphics up on the screen so that you can follow along a little bit easier. Anyhow, all right, let's move it right along.
Right on. Well, one of the biggest and bestest and hugest things that we've all been waiting for, the Cupcake card back is back.
People because Blizzard accidentally leaked that it was going to be in Skullman's launch period. Everybody's been talking about this now for, I don't know, a month or something like that. And I don't know. It's funny. I didn't realize that this was a pretty old one. And I guess that's why I missed out on it way back when. But
yeah, I don't know.
5 years old, right?
Yeah, it's from April 2015. That's when I started playing, and I have scattered ones throughout 2015, but I did not have this one.
Same. I was playing back then, but
on it.
I didn't realize when I first started playing that you had to, win X number of ranked battles or whatever ranked matches to get these.
Yeah.
Or what they were. And it took, after 2 or 3 months I did. And then I was like, oh man, I missed those. I'm still kicking myself because I didn't get the pre-order one for Black Rock Mountain. And,
I got that one.
Yeah, I'm jealous.
This is a good one. The Cupcake one, this is one of my favorites. So I think this one and then Lemonade. All the food ones for me. This is
I like this sweets one, but I don't like the pizza one. I do not like.
Yeah, it's not the best looking pizza.
It
really isn't.
Oh, God.
Nate.
Yeah.
So you said that you played Pokemon TCG.
Oh yeah.
So in Hearthstone, the reason I don't go crazy about card backs, if the decks were positioned like it is in TCG, then maybe, but the way they're positioned in this game, they're sideways, so you can't really see your own card back most of the time. So I don't get why everybody's so crazy about card backs. I just don't get it.
No, yeah, I agree with you. You really can't see them at all.
Your opponent can. That's about it.
I think it was Wildcard I was talking about this with a couple weeks ago, and the way that the cards are positioned on the screen, just the UI, you really don't see them. They're at a weird angle.
Yeah.
And I wonder why they did that. Like, they could have easily put them face down. I mean, maybe they just didn't have space. I don't know.
Yeah, I just feel like it feels like if they were displayed better, then I'd get the whole craze over card backs. But at the current moment, I'm just like, they're sideways. Like, I don't care. I use the regular ones. I don't even change them.
You know what? It's just something else for people to collect and spend money on.
Yeah,
That's true. That's true.
it's all personal preference. Okay, well, next, I'm sure Nate's excited about this one, is we have another volume of The Art of Hearthstone, Volume 4, Year of the Raven, is available for pre-order for $30. Nate, that's something you're going to be buying, isn't it?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I have the first two. I pre-ordered the third one, and I think it comes out in October, and then this one's not until March, but I like that they're doing them. Like, they're gorgeous books. So, I don't know. I recommend them if you guys are interested in the artwork at all. They're just beautiful books. But
yeah, they do look really, really, really nice. I love the art in the game. And,
I think it's with the books too, because it's a virtual game, right? So people that are really into the game, they want something that they can kind of like hold and see and touch, and I think that's a nice way to kind of like remonetize that art that's in the game already, and to give the fans, something that's tactile. So it's kind of cool.
what size are the books, Nate? Like, dimensionally?
you know what? I'll show you. Hold on 2 seconds. Let me grab one off the shelf real quick.
Yeah, I want to see it. Yeah.
Because I'm just curious if it's like a coffee table size thing or what. Because $30 is a really good deal.
Hold on.
Let's see this thing.
Yeah, so it's definitely like a coffee table size book. So it's almost like a 8x12. Like, it's pretty big. This is volume 2. It's about 100 pages or so.
Yeah, that is big.
The first.
Oh, I see.
The
Can you open
first
it?
volume is, but yeah, I mean, it's got all the kind of full art stuff in it.
Oh, look at that.
Sorry,
Yeah, that's super cool. Entresol.
there you go. Yeah.
Okay.
The art books are super cool, but there's also a bunch of behind the scenes stuff in them.
Hey, paddling book.
Sometimes the sketches, or this one has it's got like a, I don't know if you can see it, kind of like a tracing paper thing with the pencil line art underneath the actual art. So like they're high quality.
Oh, is that Prince Malchus? Yeah.
It's Malchazar, yeah. So the books are good. And I don't like, I didn't go out and buy the cookbook. I didn't go out and buy the $60 pop-up book, but like for $30, a coffee table art book of my favorite game. Heck yeah. So I don't know. I'm kind of a sucker for this stuff, unfortunately, but I do like them quite a bit. So
Yeah. Sweet.
yeah.
Well, up
All right.
next, we've got 3 weeks of events coming at us, which is pretty cool. A bunch of content heading our way. And it starts off with the first week is... What up?
Wait, real quick. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Are you these events? They only happen inside the 3 weeks.
Yep.
Yeah, from September 8th to 29th.
So the
that
event,
stinks.
But there is part of it that extends beyond, which we'll get
Okay,
to.
sorry. Go ahead. Continue.
Yeah.
so the event is called the Forbidden Library. They did a little trailer for it on YouTube. I can put it in the show notes. But so here I'll put up they did one of those little calendar kind of graphic things with what they're doing each week. And so it starts September 8th, goes through September 29th. So week 1 introduces a couple things. New heroes to Battlegrounds, but also something called Battlegrounds Parties, which is super cool. The idea is kind of what is like a private games of Battlegrounds where you can like fill up lobbies with your friends and play.
Finally.
Yeah, it's super cool.
I feel like that's the only way
Finally.
I'm gonna play the mode because I never play it, and it just sounds fun to play with your friends.
Right?
So is this the part that lasts longer than the 3 weeks?
I think this is permanent. Like it's
Yeah,
part
this
of
is
their-
permanent.
I'd hope so. If they want to save this game, they definitely should make this permanent.
Yeah, no, that's definitely permanent. It's
Okay,
just
cool.
there's 3 different weeks of events where things are being released.
Got it. Yeah,
Yeah,
I was coming in guns blazing. I was like, all right, man, don't mess this up.
Oh, seriously.
Because sometimes, man, yeah. Anyway,
yeah, no. That's all fine. And then there's the heroes that they're adding as well to Battlegrounds if that's what you're interested in. But I think the biggest thing that's coming in week 1 that we all will enjoy is the Mega Wild Bundle
Right.
is here. Yeah, 56 packs. 8 packs each from Boomsday, Witchwood, Kobolds and Catacombs, Rastican's Rumble, Gadgetzan, Ungoro, and the Frozen Throne. So we don't have a price, I believe, on this yet.
We don't yet, but I don't know. I'm sure we'll do a giveaway when we find out. So, hey, by
It's
the way,
a shame that. Oh, yeah.
I was just gonna say to backtrack super quick on the Battlegrounds things. If anybody is interested, I'm all over that as well. I think Mike probably is too, and
yeah.
we will in our Discord we can do a separate channel for Battlegrounds. Like if you guys all are interested in playing, we can get some groups together in the Discord and play. I'm down for that as well. Like,
It'll be fun for me because like I'm not competitive whatsoever. I'm just looking to get in, at least get 7th place. So I'm ready.
I'm definitely casual in that for sure. I think I hover around like 4,500.
Oh, same here.
5,000 when I'm really doing good. So
Whoa, pushing it. I'm not that high.
Yeah. I made it to 4,900 once, okay?
I'm
You
back.
guys are beasts.
I don't play it very often, but it's fun and I enjoy it. Like if I'm feeling like, I don't know, like I don't want a ladder, like you guys are waiting for the Darkglare nerf, or I'm having some like ladder anxiety or whatever, like I can play Battlegrounds and not care how I do and just enjoy it. So, but yeah,
I played on stream one time and somebody was trying to like backseat drive, and I'm just like, I don't care what happens. Like, just stop. It doesn't matter. I'm just dragging stuff, clicking it. Like, just come hang out, grab a beer, get a seat, come chill.
100%. Yeah. But yeah, this Mega Wild Bundle, typically they're a pretty good deal. So they did one of these last year, and I don't remember how many packs it was, and it was at like $30 or $35 or something like that. But like for 56 packs, it's less than $1 a pack, and like I don't even need the cards, but it'll be good dust. Like
Yeah, well, here's a good point though, is depending on what your collection is like, with that no duplicate protection, it should fill the hole, shouldn't it not? Right?
It should. Here's the thing though that always throws us off a tiny bit is that if you've opened a card and then you've disenchanted it, that the collection thing still counts that as you having opened it. So if you've disenchanted a card, you're not going to like reopen it unless you've got, I think, if you've opened everything else, then it'll loop back to it, something like that. But like you were saying, I mean, I think if you've got gaps in your collection, like by all means, I don't know. Honestly, if nothing else, like this is some wild support, right? I mean, just straight out. Wild.
This is definitely this is what Cora was talking about. This is a gift package by Cora.
Well, and don't forget the new game mode says that wild cards will be playable. So
yeah,
that's true.
They're trying to set people up before they release it.
It's a shame that it isn't 10 packs per set because of the 10-pack legendary rule.
Oh yeah.
I was just thinking that would be really fun, especially if you were a new player or didn't play Wild. And you could just buy this bundle and just smash open a bunch of legendaries. That would be a lot of fun.
You got a good chance to get it in the first 10, but yeah, everybody's going to end up buying a pack or 2 extra of each set.
Right?
Oh, of course.
Anyways, but stay tuned for sure. I mean, I imagine we'll probably do a giveaway I like doing giveaways, and as long as it doesn't break the bank, it's all good. So
Yeah,
No doubt.
no, sounds great. So that I believe that's the rest of week 1, right?
Yeah, so week 1 is the battleground stuff and the wild bundle. And then week 2 is there's a new there's
the
new
Book of Heroes.
Yeah, new solo content.
Yeah, so basically it's going to be, here's what I was talking about, Mike, with the extension.
Okay.
It's over the next 12 months there's going to be a single player adventure released for each of the 10 heroes in the game. And so it's going to highlight each and every one of them. You're going to have 8 bosses. And then it's first up is Jaina. And it says that once you defeat those 8 bosses, you get a mage pack. So it's a pack of cards that we've had this before in the mage bundle, where you get packs of cards that are exclusive to that class. So you get a pack, you get to play some free content, and I would imagine that this might be something that Goliath is going to be into, because it's, from what I think, may tell backstory on each one of the heroes, kind of like they did with Illidan. When Illidan had his intro, we got to learn the whole backstory on that. So I think it might be neat for people to learn a little more about the characters that they're playing.
Yeah, super cool. I always like the cosmetics too. So yeah, I don't know, but so with this one we get new, what do you call it? Hero art for Jaina, scholar Jaina. So, and I don't know if they're all going to be the same or not. I mean, maybe this is just because it's themed kind of after, like Scholomance. I wonder if some of the other ones will be different. Who knows?
Is that included in it?
No, it's separate.
No,
It's
that you have
they're
to
calling
purchase
it,
that.
Yeah, they haven't released a price, but it's called the Scholar Jaina bundle. You get the Scholar Jaina Mage Hero Portrait and 5 Mage packs. So
you have to buy the skin?
yeah, it's probably like $20 or $15.
So it's separate
something
from the content.
Yeah.
The solo content.
I'll wait 3 years till the people on Reddit complain, and then it's free. I'll just wait.
People are gonna complain anyways, but
It's probably cheap.
It benefits me.
It's just to put them in standard decks. You get those wild nerfs right away too. Same idea.
yeah, that's. I saw someone comment on that the other day, and I thought it was so funny. They were saying, "Oh, Darkglare is a problem in standard. Thank God, because otherwise Wild would not get the nerf."
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, then week 3 comes along, and we have our mode back. Heroic Brawliseum is back.
Yes.
Just make it a game mode.
Right.
But it's $9.99 or 1,000 gold. It is basically like playing arena, but with really high risk and high reward. So it's the idea of you either get to 12 wins first or 3 losses first, and then you get your rewards based on how many wins to losses that you got. So, but if you get 12 wins, you get 50 packs, and is this right? 3 golden legendaries.
That's right.
Love it.
For
I have
12 wins.
They released the chart, so I've got it up on the screen. But yeah, 12 wins, 50 packs, 3 golden legends. Yeah.
12 wins.
You know what? This is like gambling, man. I'm gonna have to play this.
I'm doing this.
The problem is that it's, I don't know, like I don't want to pay $10 for this. I also don't want to pay 1,000 gold for this. My question really is this going to be standard decks only, or is it wild or standard decks?
They've done both, right? Like at one point in time, I think the first one or two were wild, and then they made it standard only.
Yeah,
I believe
they didn't say. So I mean, honestly, I think it's probably standard, but I don't think they came out and said.
I did it when it was wild with like Pirate Warrior, and I got like 10 or 11 wins. It was just an easy wins. That was the time I accidentally, I don't know if I told this on the show or not, but I put the Brawl in there. I don't know, like it was next to Arcanite Reaper in my collection, and I like And I put Brawl in my deck, and then I queued it up, and then I looked like I drew it, and I'm like, oh no! Why do I have Brawl in my Pirate Warrior? I actually ended up playing it a couple times, to be honest.
It's probably not bad against the mirror.
But yeah, so that's always fun. Mike, did you say, are you going to try this out, or?
Oh yeah, I'm saving a bunch of gold for it. I've been waiting for it since last December. So I don't know why they're doing it once a year. But wasn't it 500 gold at one point in time?
I don't know. I'm
pretty sure because like my guy is telling me like I thought it was 500 gold at some point in time, at least one time.
Maybe. This is a lot of rewards, so possibly like 50 packs and 3 golden legendaries for 12 wins.
What I wonder how it like the MMR works. Is it just like ladder? I'm curious because
I think it's just like arena.
I hope it's free for all. Like, give me whoever. I don't care.
I would think it's like arena because as you get more wins, they would probably put you against the higher people.
Yeah,
that's how it's been. But
yeah, that's what I assume.
I mean, that makes sense.
I think I remember playing the same people like twice. Like, say if I started one and then came back to it like a day later, and I would like hit the same person like maybe 2 matches later. So like if they stopped one and then restarted, but they had the same record. So I think that's possible. I'm not sure.
Yeah. Interesting. No,
when these used to be around a lot, I never took Hearthstone like serious. And then when they went away, that's when I started taking it serious. And I was like, I want to play in this so bad. So like I can't wait. Was this week 3?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I can't wait. I'm saving every gold I get.
Nice.
Yeah, it seems like when they first launched too, they had a lot of ways where you could kind of go infinite with it too. Like when they did those different festivals, the packs were just crazy.
Yeah. They used to give away so much stuff before. Now it's
it was like sign it, be half a collection. You're like, sweet, okay.
Seriously, sign it now because in 6 years you're gonna wish you did.
That's funny.
Yeah. Well, speaking of getting things in other card backs that we talked about Cupcake earlier, we got another card back returning. It is the Magic of Dalaran, and that is coming back. It was from June 2017. Did they list a price on this one? Is it? I'm guessing it's going to be the same as before. I believe I have this one.
I have it too. Yeah. I don't know.
It's a big deal.
They just been. I think we've just started seeing them releasing old card backs that people can buy. It's like, what is it? $3 or how many?
500.
Okay, I don't even know because I'd rather save the gold for packs and spend the $3.
I'd rather spend $3.
Me too, but
hey, has anyone here played Heroes of the Storm?
Yeah.
Yep.
So you know how every week, I think it is, every Tuesday it resets, you get like new heroes you can play for free.
I don't play very much, but yeah.
I haven't played in years, but yeah, I know
But then some you can buy. Why don't they just use that same system in this game and just do it card backs if they're trying to do cosmetics?
Why not?
I don't know. They want your money. What I wish they would do is
that's what I'm saying. Like they could give some card backs for free to rent and then some to buy. Like they should have a section where you can buy them. That's what I'm saying.
Things rotate in and rotate out.
Yeah,
that makes sense.
I mean, if they want to hire me, I can give them my ideas all day. I got ideas for days.
What I would love it if they did, like, you know how they had that feature where you could do the random card back. I wish that you could do random hero portrait. That'd be so cool. Because like Mage,
maybe one day when they have a lot of them.
I mean, even then,
not for Rogue.
Not for Rogue.
It'll never shuffle.
But Mage has now got, with this one, we're now 12. At what, 5, 6, 7, 12?
12.
I don't know if I'm missing any hero portraits, to be honest.
Just the 1K ones, right?
Oh yeah. That's right. I don't have the 1K ones. Oh yeah, thanks, Nate. Shots fired.
Pew pew pew.
Yeah, no, I do not have the 1K ones yet.
I'm getting there. I'm only missing 3 now. One of these days.
Oh, I got 4. Close to 5.
That's pretty sweet.
Yeah,
That's sweet.
a lot. But I'm surprised between this and like Imic in chat is saying like they may just got the Kel'Thuzad one.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know what the rhyme or reason is.
I think Ridiculous Hat said on Coin Concede about Mage being like this play Hearthstone's entry class, their favorite. So they give Mage everything first, so new players can, get into the game easy.
Huh. Well, whatever.
Kind of makes sense.
I think I see it now. Like every time something comes out, Mage has something. Like, jeez.
Yeah.
Anyways, so now I think.
Yeah, I was sorry, Nate. I was going to say we've been alluding to this the entire show so far. Is the nerfs
The moment we've all been waiting for. Like, this is where the real discussion begins, right?
Yeah.
All right,
So
I
yeah,
got
go ahead, Nate.
let's see. No, I was just making sure I had them in the right order. What I want to say about the nerfs, and I've got the graphics on the screen for anybody that's interested. But number one, big shout out and thank you to Imic who put together the graphics for us showing the change between the old card and the new card. And the other thing I wanted to say is a big thank you to Alec from the Hearthstone design team who went out on Twitter and discussed the rationale behind the change for each card, which I thought was really cool because sometimes we get that and sometimes we don't. And so it was just really cool to see that. So and to see him, he's come a long way from Golden Wisp podcast to now being on the Hearthstone design team is super cool.
Really cool.
Yeah.
So all right. Well, let's do this. First up is Secret Passage. So there's what is it? There's 5 nerfs, right? Or changes, I should say, because 2 of them are not really nerfs. But and I think out of these 5, there are 2 that particularly affect Wild. This first one, Secret Passage, definitely does. So Secret Passage used to replace your hand with 5 cards from your deck. It's being updated to replace your hand with 4 cards instead. And I'm just going to quote verbatim what Alec Dawson says. First up is Secret Passage, one of the top cards across all rogue archetypes. Going down to 4 cards takes some of the raw power out, but still gives you a solid draw option for a more aggressive package. Some future protection in this change. The question was when, not if. And I think we all knew this way ahead of time that it was coming. So
the second I saw it.
I mean, honestly, I still think it's good. Like, I don't think that this really changes what decks you play it in.
I think it stays. It stays.
Yeah.
I'm not taking it out of any decks.
You know why this still works? Because when I play One Thief and she busts out Evocation and I play a bunch of those. I'm sorry, when I play Evocation, I can play Secret Passage. And they still go back.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think 5 to 4 changes anything.
I just saw that interaction last week for the first time and thought, like, holy cow.
Oh, dude. I've been doing it for a month. It's awesome.
It's really awesome. Yeah. I don't know how I missed that one.
Wait, explain that again.
So
you... Oh, go ahead, Nate.
Mike, go for it. No, it's cool. I think you've been playing it longer than me. I just found out about it.
Oh, yeah. First, I definitely fumbled and messed up. But, yeah, so you combo to activate One Thief. And when it blesses you with Evocation, you play Evocation, and it'll produce all the spells in your hand. And then you play Secret Passage. Secret Passage will give you 4 new cards. Going forward, it'll give you 4. And then once your turn ends, the passage is over. So all the cards that went into your deck come back, and it takes away the discard effect, and they all stay in your hand.
Wow, that's cool.
So now you're a rogue with a bunch of mage spells, and your opponent is screwed.
I mean,
for PG word, yeah.
Isn't it like that though? Like, I mean, any card that generates, right? If you can shuffle it back into your deck, you don't have to get rid of it. Evocation is just awesome because it's like so many cards. But
Yeah.
But anyways, I don't know. Squirrel, what do you think? This still playable?
Oh yeah, this is way playable. I think it's actually still kind of overpowered. I would have liked to have seen a mana nerf on it too, but it's definitely a step in the right direction.
I'm so glad they didn't nerf the mana. I was worried. That's why I think it's still great. It still costs 1.
Yeah, like even if it went up to 2, you could still do like prep secret passage, and it would be about the same thing, but then it would require another card. I don't know. When I see like such low costed cards being able to generate so many cards, it's kind of scary to me. But it's still a very good card. Yep, definitely constructed playable in both formats.
I just like, even if it's not competitive, playing Rogue with that evocation secret passage trick, that thing is crazy.
That's a pretty cool interaction.
Like, you can play mage cards as a Rogue. It's not
Yeah.
crazy.
Like, Wand Thief is probably one of my favorite cards to come out of that set.
It is pretty cool. Yeah.
There's definitely more powerful cards, but that one's just fun to me. Yeah. But,
Okay, so next up is one that I don't think really affects us all that much. I don't know if people are playing this in Reno decks or not, but Cabal Acolyte was a 4-mana 2/6. It's now a 4-mana 2/4. You guys see that in Wild at all? I have not, but
Not in Wild.
Nope.
I've seen it in the other format, practicing for THL.
Okay. Alex says, moving on to Cabal Acolyte, going to 4 health will tone down some of its defensive capabilities on turn 4 and post-spell burst effect. Acolyte was one of the best performing cards in Priest, and we want these sort of effects, mind control-esque, to be a deck building choice.
That's why he said on turn 4. There's no turn 4 in Wild. So this was for standard.
Oh, so he's making a joke.
It's definitely definitely a standard nerf, but all right. Here's the one that we've all been waiting for. Oops, there we go. Darkglare. So
here we go.
It was a 3-mana 3/4. After your hero takes damage, refresh 2, and like this one, they hit with the nerf hammer pretty hard. So it now costs 1 mana less, but it is now a 2/3. After your hero takes damage, refresh 1 mana crystal. Now, the interesting thing I saw, Ben from work says unplayable. Rotted Zombie posted a list of an updated even Warlock with Darkglare in it that looks pretty spicy. So I think that it's different. I mean, I don't think that we'll see the same like zoo style, with giants on, turn 2, turn 3, whatever. I don't think that it's going to be nearly as problematic as it was. And who knows? Now I can go into even Warlock, so I don't know. I don't know if it'll be good enough for that, but I think we'll definitely try it.
Hey, if you're playing Odd Warrior still, Bash kills it now.
I mean, a 3-mana 3/4 is good anyways, but the effect was really good. Like, this card was not that easy to kill. That
was the problem when I was going against it playing Odd Warriors. I didn't have a way to kill it a lot of the time.
Yeah.
I had to tank up and then use one, like, whatever the card is that spends
Shield
all
Slam?
either Shield Slam or the one, what is it, Reckless Flurry that
spends all your
armor.
Yeah.
If I had no armor, I could tank up Reckless Flurry and kill it. But like, I don't know, it doesn't feel good. So
this card is crazy. I was trying a bunch of NA lists and I wasn't getting it down. And then I follow Soda on Twitter.
Yep.
And Soda had a list from China. So then I play this Chinese list. I think it has like brooms. What else did it do? It did something crazy. Oh, it had Grim Rally. You play like Tour Guide, you get rid of that. Like I got Giants out by turn 3. I got to boost my to 9 attack. One deck it has Enhanto Mecano. Play it on turn 4.
Gross.
You give your Giants like Wind Fury, Divine
I love
Shield,
that card.
and then they have a way where you can play 2 glares and then you get Lothab out turn 5. You pen fling yourself. You give it a Hanto. Like this, I'm so glad it's gone. It's crazy.
Yeah, it's
Crazy, bro.
when it was 2 mana. It was. I think the big problem with the 2 mana is that all your 1 mana and 0 mana things, they generated mana, right? Like they all became like lightning blooms.
Yeah.
And so it kind of makes it like, yeah, you can still power out a giant pretty early. You know, if you got a bunch of 1-drops, you can probably do something pretty similar to what you could do before, but you're not gonna have like those Lothab turns like you had before. You're not gonna, it's gonna slow them down a little bit. And I do think it's still a playable card, but more for like a zoo deck, or like you said, maybe like an even shaman. So, but it's definitely a lot more killable, and the generating 2 mana to 1 mana is so huge. So that's a good balance change, in my opinion, because they didn't give all of your rush minions +1 attack or whatever that.
Oh, the war song.
War song.
Yeah.
When are they gonna go back and just change it randomly and not say anything? Let's just fix it real quick.
That's funny.
Do something.
I'm surprised that Quest Rogue isn't on this list because that's been.
What I like about this nerf is that Alex said that it was done specifically for Wild. He said then there's Darkglare. This is a change mainly done for Wild. In Wild, Darkglare Warlock is fairly rampant and creates early board states that make for a lot of non-games. The change to 2/3 and 1 mana being refreshed is aimed to retain some of the identity in a smaller form. So
I think that's
there's the comment in chat. I love it. The Wild community is like Canada. When we get mentioned, we're all like, "Yay!"
Argue more. It's true.
It is though.
Like whatever. I'm watching a movie and they're like, "Oh, you want to go to Vancouver?" I'm like, "That's where I live." They said it.
Oh man, good stuff. All right, we got 2 other card changes, and these ones are arguably buffs, right? So we have here Archwitch Willow was a 9 mana 7/7 battlecry, summon a random demon from your hand and your deck, and they changed it to an 8 mana 5/5. So they dropped the mana by 1, reduced the stats by 2. And they're calling it a buff, which it pretty much is. Like, when I first saw this card revealed, I was like, oh my god, I can't wait to play with it. It's so cool. But it costs so much that it's essentially unplayable. Mm-hmm. Unfortunately, I still think that it's probably too slow for Wild at 8. I wish that was not the case, but like, I'm still gonna try it. I'll still try it. I like the idea that it thins your deck. You know, if I could put it in a pretty, like a control heavy cube lock or arena lock or something like that. Maybe, I don't know. When I first saw this, I was like, oh my god, I'm crafting it in gold. I have not done that, by the way, but I like the idea of the card. I think that I would play it if it didn't cost 8. Maybe if it cost less, but then you risk like breaking it, right?
Yeah.
So I don't know. But anyways, he says Willow going to 8 mana makes for an intriguing late game option for heavier Warlock builds. We played at this mana cost for much of development and thought it was right to go back. So I don't know. I guess we'll see. What do you guys think?
I don't have much to say on it. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't see it being impactful. It's still a fun card, and that's I think that's where its home is going to be in Wild.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, if they made Shutterwalk a neutral card, that would be like the greatest thing ever.
Oh my! Are you sure?
Every single deck would be Shutterwalk.
in a sandbox mode, yes.
I actually think that would be a huge problem, but it would be a lot of fun.
Do it for 1 week. 1 week. just make Shutterwalk neutral for 1 week in both.
What you do is make it a tavern brawl, and you just get rid of all the class identities, and you can just put in, you just build the deck with whatever cards you want from any class.
Dude, I don't know if you guys have ever tried this. I went to the pre-release Fireside Gathering for Rosticon's Rumble, and they let you open all the cards early, and then they let you build decks to play against whoever else is at the Tavern Brawl. And what they do is that when you build your deck, you can use all of the cards from the new set to build your deck. And so you can combine classes. It was like I can jam all my rogue and my warlock and my paladin and my neutral like all into the same deck.
I did not know that was a thing. Like I knew you could open your cards and play with them, but I didn't know you could combine classes.
Yeah. So they will let you
Wow.
It's so fun. And it's so busted. So I mean, it's one of those things. Also, like if they released that on ladder, everything would be totally broken. But it was very fun with a very limited card pool. So, anyways, we have our last card update, which is the Totem Goliath. They buffed it significantly. It went from a 4/5 overload 2 to a 5/5 overload 1. So it says here the change to Totem Goliath is more of a correction. The 2 overload was too limiting for a deck that wants to follow up with another strong play for 5 mana, Bloodlust, second Goliath. We'll continue to monitor how Shaman performs in the meta and see if other buffs are necessary. Like, and honestly, like I don't think anybody's really playing this anyways, so I don't know.
No.
That being said, I was playing a little bit of Standard last month with Recruit Warrior, or like a big warrior, and I had played and had somebody drop this on me a couple of times, and it is kind of a pain to deal with. For Wild, I don't think it's anywhere near good enough to play in anything. If they made it 4 mana, I'd play it.
Oh yeah, if they made it 4 mana 7/7.
So
4 mana 7/7.
Yeah. Squirrel, what was your tweet on it? What was your take?
I think my tweet on this one was basically that you didn't need to know what this card did before, and you still don't need to know what it does. So, yeah, it's like I just look at this one, I just kind of scratch my head, like, okay, you wanted to tune it on this one? Okay, that's a thought.
Well, what they've seemed like they do historically with Shaman in particular, and this is for Standard, right? But they they nerfed it so hard that it's now like an unplayable class, and
yeah,
I don't know, but this doesn't seem any good to me. Like, okay, you buffed it, and we're still not going to play it, so I don't know.
I think Shaman just needs a rework, to be honest. Their class identity is kind of hard to build around.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's like they have totems, and that's not really that great unless it's even Shaman, and then it's kind of overpowered. Or, I don't know. They just don't have a strong identity to build around.
No, I mean, and there's not a lot of totem synergy, really.
Right.
Where we see like a class like Mage with Secret Synergy, and there's like tons. But like the totem synergy is not very good. I don't know.
Yeah, very good, and it's all about the opposition, right? I mean, like you make this totem that does nothing, and then your opponent kills it, and then your spells that buff your totems don't do anything. So
yeah, well, no, Ben from work and says that if they made it a battle cry instead of a death rattle, and I think I had said that when we did the card review. If same idea, if this was a battle cry summon for basic totems, that might be pretty good. I mean, it's still, I wish that it was even cost so they could go in even shaman, but like, whatever. Yeah. Whatever. So the only other thing I think is interesting to note from the patch notes, there's a bunch of little things here that they're fixed bugs and stuff, but there was something about Kingsbane drawn by Secret Passage will no longer be returned to your deck at the end of your turn.
Wait, what?
No. I'm sorry. This is not Secret Passage, is it? Oh, I missed Kingsbane drawn by Secret Passage will no longer be returned to your deck if you played it and then returned it to your hand using Doomerang.
Oh.
So there was a bug that if you played Kingsbane, so you play Secret Passage, you get Kingsbane, you play it and you Doomeranged it, it would send it back to your deck, where it won't be doing that anymore. So
that's brutal.
That's cool. That's a fix.
Good.
I don't know.
I like it.
I like Kingsbane Rogue quite a bit actually, and I don't mind. I don't know. The classic aggro decks were, a lot of Pirate Warrior or, some Even Shaman or some Face Hunter or something like that. And so we're seeing a little bit of a resurgence of Rogue with this new set because there's some good cards. What is it? Cutting Class and Secret Passage have added the draw that Rogue needed. So I think I don't mind seeing it. It feels like a little bit of a shakeup still to me. So. I don't know. It's all good. What, well, yeah. I mean, any other thoughts before we kind of move on?
Not for me, no. I think I agree with that. It's really nice to see Kingsbane back. I missed that deck, and I'm glad it's more than playable. Like, it was a little bit fringe. You could still get away with playing it before this set, but it's definitely back, and I like that.
What was the card that got nerfed? Was it Leeching Potion or something like that?
Yeah.
Leeching Poison, and that was the mill sort of style Kingsbane.
Well, and if your weapon had lifesteal, then you could, I don't know. Yeah, that
Never
was
died.
that. Yeah, no, yeah, pretty much.
Because I remember doing, I was playing J Druid at the time, and I would verse people playing that Kingsbane Rogue with the Leeching Poison, and I could throw down like a 14-14 Jade and a 15-15 Jade, and they could just smack them and kill them and then like not take any damage. And it was like pointless. Every Jade you threw down, they could just kill and heal back up.
Yeah, that was impossible to race. That was one of those decks that you really had to beat super early, or it just wasn't happening.
Mm-hmm.
So.
I remember people asking for so long to like, hey, give us a Hungry Crab, but for weapons, or something that people were asking like, let us kill your opponent's weapon, let us steal your opponent's weapon, let us break all of your opponent's armor. And so when we see Kobold Sticky Fingers come out, or you see Plate Breaker come out, they're very fringe, but like, I don't know, it's interesting. I know some people were playing Plate Breaker in their Shutterwalk decks, or Kobold Sticky Fingers in the Shutterwalk deck, just as a one of. I don't know. I'm entertained by it. I'm not saying it's good. I'm not saying to do it, but
It's entertaining.
Anyways, I know that I think we're all kind of in the nerf waiting room. But have you guys been playing ladder at all? I want us to do a little kind of quick meta discussion just on, we already talked about our weeks in Hearthstone, but like, what are you guys seeing? What are you guys playing? That type of thing. Or do you see the meta shifting after this nerf? Like, what do you think? What will rise to the top?
I'm kind of thinking that the quest mage is going to come back on top. I think going to be in a Raza quest mage probably type meta with Kingsbane in there too. I don't know if Darkglare can stay in tier 1, but I think those are going to be the top 3. That's just my thoughts.
I think you're probably right, to be honest.
Yeah. Those decks really got touched. I mean,
Raza's already on top.
Yeah. And
I agree. I played a bunch this week. Definitely Raza Priest. I'd say Quest Mage is up there. When I was streaming Slizzle came into stream, and it was funny. He was kind of talking me through the matchup with Quest Mage because they didn't want to finish the quest because I had the Mind Render in hand, so they tried to outweight me. But as the priest, you just collect common pieces and you kill them. But I feel like in any other deck, as a Quest Mage, you're gonna obliterate them. And then Kingsbane, it's just all out. Like, just go for your face. Like, game over. If you try to put down a taunt, they got a sap. Secret Passage looks for a eviscerate. I think they have Sinister Strike in there.
I have seen them playing that recently, yeah.
And it could be my MMR. I know all of us here are different levels, or maybe some of us are in the same, but you guys are as low as me. Don't worry. I'm at 10 stars. But I've seen people play cards that just like put out as much damage as possible so they can get to the next match. Which, hey, I can appreciate because some players just like wait the entire minute, 15 seconds to take their turn. But yeah, Quest Mage, Kingsbane, and definitely Raza Priest rising up to the top.
Yeah. I think my problem is that I know what the good decks are. Like, I mean, I would have said the same answer, right? And I know what the good decks are, but I can't bring myself to play them. And I think for me, there's kind of two reasons. Number one, I'm trying to get my 1K portraits, and I've already got all of the ones for the good decks, right? But like, for the life of me, the last 5 months in a row, I don't know. Like, I enjoy hitting Legend with a tier 2 deck. It's fun to do something weird, and so I don't know. I love the idea of playing something a little bit off brand or off meta to try to climb with. And I don't know, sometimes the fun thing when you do that, at least, is that your opponents have a hard time mulliganing. You're playing, especially something like these decks that we have tonight, like your Beast Taunt Druid or Malygos Shaman. Like, people will mulligan thinking that it's one thing, and then you're playing something different and they don't know how to play against it. It gives you a little bit of an advantage.
I'll give you a little example on not mulliganing right now. So Raza Priest is the priest that you see most often, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, while I was playing Odd Warrior, I decided to keep a Death Lord because I figured I could pull out a combo piece. Well, turned out I was playing against Big Priest, and I pulled out Yashraj.
Oh.
Oops.
You did him a favor.
It ruined the whole match. I tried and I lost that match. I'm like,
Mistakes were made.
Mistakes were definitely made. But hey, I thought it was going to be Raza Priest, but this guy caught me off guard, a girl or whoever caught me off guard, and yeah, they got me. They got me good. I guess that's why it pays to play an off-meta deck.
I think these balance patches are going to help open that up, too, to where you can do that. Because some of these other, some of the different classes, say like Shaman, couldn't really handle Darkglare. Druid had tools that could do it, but if you threw the Lothab in there, they just got shut down. So I think like you can start to experiment a little bit more. You can start to meme a little more, and actually pull some wins off of the top tier decks. Whereas before, it just really wasn't viable. Once you got to like top legend spots, where you're just gonna start, queuing Darkglare versus, Reno Priest versus, say, Odd Warrior or something like that. Where there was just this black hole of Darkglare sucking all the decks into it around it.
Yeah.
But, yeah, so I think it'll be fun. To me, it's fun to kind of have these new metas. It's almost like the set is launching again, It's like
it really feels like it, and I swear there's unexplored stuff that we just haven't got to yet. But like, and I'm not a fan of Darkglare. I've been avoiding it. I've not really played it. I've been trying to find ways to beat it, But the one thing that I will say in its favor is that it was something new.
It was new. Yeah.
And so I like that people are using that ingenuity to find the broken stuff. Like, that's cool. Do I want to play against it? Not particularly, but I appreciate, that we're still innovating.
Yeah.
What's really cool about that deck? Since it's going away, I guess it's okay to talk about it. So you got obviously Darkglare. When you get damage, you get 2 crystals back. So you got Penflinger to make sure you keep hurting yourself getting crystals, and then you have the list that runs Cheeky Ankle Biter.
Mm-hmm.
So then those deal damage. You get life off of that, and then you can use Broomstick to give those things rush. And then the Chinese list has Grim Rally, so you destroy the Broomstick, and then now those things are 3 attack. Like, the way that deck just like fluctuates life, you can go down to 8, play your Giants, and then go back up to 27, same turn. It's crazy.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. And also, I saw a bunch of folks running the Spellstones in there, and they're just so easy to
those
upgrade.
2, yeah.
That, like you said, the health fluctuation is incredible to watch. I don't know. Crazy stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Takes a lot of focus.
I'm sure it does. I mean, I know a lot of people say it's mindless, and I don't think that it is. But also it depends what deck you're playing. Like, I am playing Secret Mage. I love seeing Darkglare. Cool. Please take yourself down to 6 health. I love to see it.
Oh yeah, catch this fireball real quick.
Hey, catch.
Oh man. All right. Well, we'll see. I mean, we can talk about this again next week, assuming that the nerfs go through on Tuesday the 8th. We'll see a little bit of a meta shift, and
That'll be cool to talk about.
Yeah. I'm kind of trying to. It's like I don't know. We're a little bit of a science experiment here, or a social experiment, or whatever you want to call it. But watch the meta fluctuate, and it's interesting.
Mm-hmm. Definitely.
I always feel bad for our buddies who spend all this time working on these tier lists, meta reports, and stuff, and then and then they've put all these hours into writing them up, and then the nerfs are announced, and everything changes. Like, oh well,
Snow globe shakes.
There goes all my hard work. But
that was the end of my writing career before it even started. So I was approached by a team once to write, and I was like, okay, cool, I'm going to do this. I'm going to be a content creator. And they're like, just, write about something you're passionate about, whatever. And so I put in like 3-4 hours into this article, and then a nerf came out, and it just completely destroyed it. And I was like, nope, not doing that again.
Oh, man.
That's
4 hours
rough.
gone.
I don't know. Last month we saw, it happened with our buddies at Tempo Storm, had put out a meta snapshot, and then the nerfs got announced. And then yesterday, I think Reno Jackson's team, Team Wildside, did a new meta report, and then they announced the nerfs like the same day. And it feels bad. It feels bad.
He puts a ton of work into it too.
I know.
Detailed. He knows his stuff, so I'm sure he's putting his time into that.
Oh, well, what can you do? I mean,
at the same time, it keeps the content coming, though, right? Like, every time they
do
it,
true.
It keeps you motivated to keep up with it, and more content. So
I agree. Well, and also, just because they announced the nerfs, like, we still have a few days before they hit. So, if you guys want to ladder up, like, hey, play Darkglare before it gets nerfed because it's still good.
Or counter it.
Right? I guess it's not a bad time to be jamming.
This might be the
Warrior.
first weekend where I don't play Wild. I'm thinking, I'll wait till the 8th. I might practice some BGs because we're going to have those the lobbies going.
Right? That'll be fun. All right. Well, we have some fun decks to talk about this week that Squirrel brought. So, there's 5 decks here, and I don't know if we want to get how deep down into the rabbit hole we want to get, but he sent over the deck lists for all 5 different decks, one from each person on his THL team. And so I've got here a Beast Taunt Druid, Bomb Warrior, Freeze Secret Mage, Malago Shaman, and Stealth Kingsbane Rogue. So I'm looking forward to these. Personally, I've been playing this Beast Taunt Druid on ladder and really liking it. I'm also very, very curious about this Malago Shaman, but I'm interested to look at the others as well. So let me just pull them up here. First up, I've got the Beast Taunt Druid, and I believe this is Duin's deck, right?
Yep, this is Duin's, and he built this for a world without Darkglare. So he's playing with damn Darkglare, and then just crush anything aggro that comes in his way. And I think it's been pretty successful for him in doing that.
I've been playing this. I've been playing with this as well. Only a little bit. I mean, I queued it up. I got it from his Twitter. I queued it up and went 4-0 with it to kind of cruise into D4. And then I haven't played after that. But I like it. It works really well, especially against aggro. And what I like about this is even against Quest Mage, even against Reno Priest, you have an okay shot. It almost reminds me a little bit of Odd Warrior in that there's so much armor gain, especially once you're able to play the Malfurion, the Pestilent, the Death Knight, to just armor up for 3 every turn. You can outlast the mages. So the only thing that I thought that was a little bit weird in this deck was that it was missing, I shouldn't say missing, but it's the Winged Guardian, the one with whatever you call it.
Targeted?
Oh, Reborn.
Hexproof and Reborn. Whatever you call it, can't be targeted.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So I thought that was interesting. Now, I know part of it is that with Guardian Animals, you want the synergy. Because what does a Guardian Animal say? It's got to be a 5 mana cost or less that it pulls. And so you're pulling Witchwood Grizzly, which is awesome. You pull Twilight Runner, you pull Teacher's Pet. I think the version that I was running was not running Twilight Runner. It's running the one that does damage to the adjacent minions instead. But aside from that, it looks like an identical list. And Nature Studies is surprisingly good, like really good.
Right? So, yeah, I think his thought on this is that you can kind of tailor it to the specific decks that you'll face in the tournament lineup, right? Because for THL, it's not ladder, it's tournament. So you can kind of expect what your opponents are going to play. They're either going to bring like an aggro lineup, which would be like a Darkglare, Kingsbane type lineup, or they're going to bring some kind of control lineup. And the thought on this is if you can ban the Darkglare, then you can out armor the Priest and you can brick wall the Kingsbane. And you don't necessarily need to go that high on the curve. And even if you do get to the high end of it, you have the Hydronox and the Enzoth, which is going to be good enough.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah.
Oh, for the folks who are listening to the audio version of this podcast, I'm just run down the list real quick. I always forget to do this, but just so that you can hear it, in the show notes we'll have the deck code, whether you're listening or watching on YouTube or whatever. Anyways, it's 2 copies of Biology Project, 1 Jade Idol, 1 Lesser Jasper Spellstone, 1 copy of Naturalize, 2 copies of Nature Studies, 2 Ferocious Howls, 2 Jade Blossoms, Archmage Vargoth, 2 Branching Paths, 2 Oaken Summons, 1 Zuldrak Ritualist, 2 copies of Teacher's Pet, 2 copies of Twilight Runner, 2 copies of Witchwood Grizzly, 2 copies of Kartut Defender, 2 copies of Guardian Animals, Malfurion the Pestilent, Hadronox, and N'Zoth the Corruptor. So yeah, this list is super fun. And I kind of agree with you. It really can kind of outlast pretty much any aggro deck in my limited experience playing it. And even against some of the slower, decks, you've got your backup game plan of Hadronox and N'Zoth. I don't know, this deck's really fun.
I've always loved this archetype. I love playing Taunt Druid with Hydronox and N'Zoth. Like it, you can go the long game, and once you drop that N'Zoth, people just concede. If you make it that far, right? Yeah, it's always been fun. I love it.
I got a question.
Go ahead.
So we have 2 Oaken Summons. Why not 2 Zoldraks? Why just 1 Vargoth, 1 Zoldrak?
I'm thinking more or less just for space reasons.
Yeah, the version that I've been playing, and maybe it's not his list, or maybe it was an older list, because it's from a week ago or something. The version that I've been playing has 2 Zoldrak Ritualists in it, so it's a little bit different. And I think the one that I've been playing, I don't think it ran the Spellstone. It was not running Kartut Defender. Everything else looks pretty much the same. So it's been tweaked. It's been tweaked a little bit, and I'm sure that you could,
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not harping on the person who made it. I'm just trying to understand where they're coming from, so I can see why they have. Just curious.
Yeah. Oh no, for sure. And I think that it's I don't know. I mean, I guess what I asked myself is like, what is core to the deck, and what is a little bit of a flex spot. And I think a lot of it probably is either teched for your kind of pocket meta, or like Squirrel was saying, is kind of teched towards a tournament lineup versus ladder. So that may be part of it as well.
Yeah. I think like if you hit Oaken Summons against something like a Kingsbane Rogue, it's like just having the 1 is like just good enough. So I mean, like later on, if you happen to draw another Oaken Summons, then you're probably so far ahead that it doesn't matter that you're not getting the second dude off of it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. But yeah,
I don't know. Interesting list. Do you guys have any questions about this before I move on to the next one?
No, I'm good.
Yeah.
Nope, perfectly fine.
All right. The next one up is Bomb Warrior. I'll just read the list real quick. 2 copies of Eternium Rover, 2 Risky Skippers, 2 Sky Raiders, 1 Sword and Board, 2 Town Criers, 2 Armorsmith, 2 Battle Rage, 1 Forge of Souls, 1 Acolyte of Pain, Ankar, 2 Bomb Wranglers, 2 Clockwork Goblins, 1 copy of Coerce, Lord Barov, 2 Wrench Calibers, 1 Brawl, 1 Lotheb, Ziliax, Blastmaster Boom, and 2 copies of Blood Boil Brute. How do you play this? I mean, are you just trying to shuffle a bunch of bombs into your opponent's deck, and then you? I mean, someone played this against me on ladder, and ended up with it killing me, not from all the bombs in the deck, but they played Risky Skipper and then played Blastmaster Boom, shuffled a whole board, or created a whole board full of boom bots that all exploded in my face, and that's what killed me. So yes.
I want to get lethal that way.
Whose deck is this?
This one is Mike B's
Okay.
deck.
Okay.
This one was one of the ones that he was using to target Darkglare. Yeah,
that's interesting.
Yeah.
Oh, I guess because they're damaging themselves so much, he puts bombs in their deck and just finishes them off.
Yeah, like you have enough board clears with the brawls and what's that new legendary guy, Lord Barov.
Yeah, he's pretty good.
Yeah, and then they have to respect the bombs and the weapons, the reach on the weapons. So it's again trying to highlight some of the differences between ladder and tournament lineups, and this is kind of a nice little creative thing that you might not see as much on ladder, but would be good for like a tournament lineup or a THL type lineup.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, it's interesting you say that. I just put it in chat. I've been playing bombs actually on ladder, and
Oh, yeah.
I actually like this deck a lot. So Nate was asking how you play it. I'm not saying I'm an expert on it, but just from the amount of games I played, I went 19-7.
That's good.
So
Wow.
So my goal from playing an aggressive deck, trying to get Skipper, Rover, any of these one drops basically, Armor Smith, to clear their board to get the advantage. But most people on ladder for now are playing slow decks, which is like prime because you can eat them alive. Town Crier draws one of your 3 rushes. Most of the time you'll get the Brute. And then sometimes if you're lucky, you hit that Forge of Souls, draw 2 weapons. And you'll just go into a curve where a bunch of cards like draw cards or combine. Because you're just waiting until they do something and they never do anything if it's a slow deck. And then you play Clockwork Goblin, you play the Wrench Caliber, and like you guys were saying, just load them up on bombs. And
Yeah.
when they get down to like, especially I like playing against the Raza Priest because they'll try to do, once they realize it's bombs, when people like mouse over cards quick and they move fast, they'll start doing that, and then it's already too late because 3, 4, 5 bombs are in their deck, and then all their their activators are turned off.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a fun one. I mean, like, you're turning off all of their Reno stuff, and then like if they ever try to what's that one Polecat themselves, that's going to be a bad time.
Oh,
Yeah, so I want to ask
wow.
you that. Have you tried? Have you guys tested that when they pull kilt and then you play a bomb?
I haven't tested it. I assume it works that way, but I'm sure that means
Interesting.
Somebody
No,
did-
I hadn't thought about
somebody-
that.
Somebody pull kilted. It was a rogue deck. It was weird, and then I shuffled bombs in there, and then for whatever reason they played pull kilt again, but then it put all the bombs on top,
yeah.
and they drew they lost because they drew all the bombs. I don't know.
Yeah, it does the same thing with like Spirit of the Frog. Like if you have bombs in your deck and you cast a 4 and then you get a 5 and then it blows up. So if you polecat and you have bombs and the highest costing thing in your deck is the bombs, then it just goes boom boom.
Boom, boom, boom.
You know the funnest scenario is when I saw, was it Even Hunter? He played Pole Kelt when I was loading him up on bombs because I thought he was Reno, and then he played Voracious Reader. He dumped his hand out of nowhere, and then Pole Kelted, and they just drew like 3 bombs, so it was like 15 damage off the rip. And I was like, "Holy crap, man! Like, why would you do that to yourself?"
That's a fancy lethal, self-lethal.
Yeah. Sorry, not to hijack this segment, but this deck I played a lot.
No, it's good.
It was actually one of my THL decks. I got to win with it today.
Cool. Congrats,
Sweet.
man.
Congrats.
Very cool. Yeah, it looks
I have
fun.
one quick question about the bombs, though.
Yeah.
Even because we were talking about this, I could swear I saw somebody shuffle bombs into the deck, and then you play Secret Passage, and you draw the bombs, but they don't explode.
Yep, because they go into it's a weird sidestep, 4th dimensional. Yeah, it's weird. Yeah.
Where you get all the bombs in your hand, and then they don't explode, and then obviously at the end of your turn they go back. But
That's
Just
where
thought
I
I'd
go
mention
from.
that.
Interesting.
That's why I go from player to spectator, and I'm asking like Core or Dawson or somebody on the team, like, can you guys explain that one? That one, you got me there. I can't explain that.
yeah,
I think it's got to be kind of the way it's worded. Like it's not drawing them; it's just placing them in your hand instead. Like, but
Well, let me pull the card back up real quick. Hold on. Secret Passage. It says replace. Yeah, it's because you're not drawing. It says replace your hand with 4 cards from your deck at the end of your turn. Swap them back next turn. And so I guess technically you're not drawing them off the top.
so can you play a bomb?
Oh shit!
You can It would
I'm sure
do. It would do 5 damage to you, and then you would draw a card.
Wait, does it cost 5 mana?
I think so.
They're 5 mana. Yep.
That's funny.
I mean, you can cast dreams, right? Like if a dream finds its way into your hand from Ysera, you can cast those.
Wait, what does Dream do? Return a card?
No, not the one that makes the dragon.
Dream Portal.
Dream Portal, yeah. Dream Portal.
Oh, wait, you can play those from your hand?
Yeah, like there's some outside scenarios where they can end up in your hand and you can cast them. Yeah.
Oh. This is a cool side of Hearthstone that Nate was talking about earlier, the digital stuff that they can do.
Right. Okay.
I never thought about that.
Check this out. Let me see here. I got it on the screen. I'm adding it right now.
There.
Let's see here.
So you're replacing my drawing. Okay. So you can't throw the bomb at their head for like 5 damage.
No.
What was that game? Was it like Mario?
You take 5 damage.
Take 5 damage.
You know what?
Can't
This
play
doesn't even.
play Mario.
That's interesting because this one doesn't even say draw. It doesn't even say draw a card.
So you would just take 5 damage.
The
best way of killing yourself if you wanted to.
Put it in your Darkglare Warlock deck.
This is crazy. You take 5 damage, like
right?
Perfect.
And you pay 5 mana.
that's a goal right there. That's play a bomb from your hand.
It's
That's
too
an
bad
achievement.
secrets could activate on your own turn, and you could have like eye for an eye up, and then you play this, and then it hits them.
There's got to be something. I don't know. I mean, I'll never forget like my old favorite meme deck from like 2 years ago or whatever it was like Bomb Warrior, but with God, what is it called? The one that we got in gold, Hydra. What is it that does 10 damage instead of thank you?
Oh, Iron Juggernaut.
Yeah.
Oh, the mine.
The 10 damage mine and
Bomb Warrior.
old school Bomb Warrior with that's what I played the day one.
Dead Man 10 Bomb Warrior, yeah.
I played that day one when Boomsday came out. That was my first deck that I made. And
then you just keep putting the 10 damage mines in their deck.
I love it, but any of the bombs with Bran and just shuffle a whole bunch of bombs. I mean, I will say the one thing where I do think that this has a legit place on ladder, if the Reno decks start running rampant again, like you use the bombs to invalidate all their Highlander cards. So,
Yeah,
maybe that'll be good against Reno Priest if Reno Priest takes over coming up.
it could. I don't know. I find this deck personally is difficult for me to play. I think there's a lot of
Warrior one?
Yeah, there's a lot of synergy here with the doing damage to yourself to draw cards. With let me put the deck back up on the screen so I can look at it because okay, so with Risky Skipper and Armorsmith, Risky Skipper and Acolyte, Risky Skipper and Bomb Wrangler. There's synergy between Risky Skipper and Lord Barov.
Oh yeah,
which is a full on board clear there. What is?
Oh no, do it. You got to do it the other way. You got to play Barov, then Skipper, and then one drop.
You're right. What does Town Crier pull? Just Ziliax?
He pulls Brutes and Ziliax.
Oh, the Brutes. Yeah.
Yeah. See, I don't. I would love to learn this. I think it looks solid to me. I struggle with how to play this, but I like. It looks a lot of fun. It looks like a lot of fun. So, Mike,
Bomb.com.
Yeah, I put that. I'm aging myself, but Mike, how does this list differ from yours?
I'm looking. Let me see. What's the difference here? Board. Okay, I think this list cuts Acolyte Pain for a sword and board.
Okay.
And then what else is different here? I think I have 2 cores. And this deck has a brawl. That's different. What else am I not seeing here? Somebody make a website where we can put decks next to each other. There's like minimal differences, like 1 or 2 or 3 cards, maybe 3 cards. But
Okay.
for me, playing this deck, like if you're not playing against aggro, it's a lot like I'm not the best odd warrior player, but like when you're playing res priest, you're just like hero power pass. You're just waiting. That's my approach to this deck, and I'm waiting to see like what their first move is, and then I know what I'm gonna do from there. I'm never gonna just throw stuff out unless I got 10 cards in my hand.
Okay.
Unless it's aggro, and then I know how to mulligan. I'm looking for Skipper, Rover, trying to get my Acolyte of Pain out because they'll have like 1 attack minions, stuff like that. But aside from that, I'm just hitting hero power. I'm just waiting until they make a play, and then it's game on.
Okay. Nice.
I'm not a pro at the deck, but I play it a lot. I like it a lot.
Yeah, it looks fun. I'll give it a whirl. Next deck up we have is a Freeze Secret Mage. So it's basically a Secret Mage package with...
This was cool.
It's got Frostbolts and Ice Lances. I mean, I assume this is just for extra face damage, right? I mean,
Who made this?
Slight made that.
Oh, Slight?
Yep. He put a lot of thought into his decks too. He was I think again he wanted to target Darkglare with this. So he wanted a good matchup, and then he added the freeze in there so that you could have a really strong burst turn. And just nuke him out. So I think it was smart. I did well for him too.
That is smart.
So here's the list. I'm just gonna read it real quick for our audio listeners. 2 copies of Ice Lance, 2 copies of Cabal Lackey, 1 copy of Ancient Mysteries, 2 Arcane Flak Mages, 2 Arcanologists, 2 Frostbolt, 2 Mad Scientists, 2 Medivh's Valet, 2 Sorcerer's Apprentice, 1 Counterspell, 2 Explosive Runes, 1 Ice Block, 2 Kirantor Mage, 2 Netherwind Portal, 2 Fireballs, a Luneth, and 2 Cabal Crystal Runners. Yeah, this seems really great to me. I think, but it seems like you were saying very teched against Darkglare. I mean, there's so much like Darkglare damages itself, but when they get low enough, it puts them at risk to they're very susceptible to face damage. And so the Explosive Runes goes a long way. Netherwind Portal will generate some tempo there. I'm a little bit unsure about the Sorcerer's Apprentice. I don't know. Is that just so that you can combo off if you need to with Frostbolt, Ice Lance, or what is
like 15-point turn?
Yeah.
Yep. So that's what that's there for. And then the other thing that you don't want to overlook too is that you get crossover with Kingsbane. Having all the freezes.
Yeah.
Erase
That's
you.
good.
So if you have something like you can have a Flak Mage put in an extreme amount of work because they just like can't get rid of it because you're just hitting with freezes.
Right.
So yeah. So again, another kind of little creative twist on an established archetype that you can kind of use if you know what you're going to go against.
Right. Hey, by the way, that reminds me, the deck lists for THL, they're all open deck lists, right? Once you guys submit.
Yep.
So if people are interested in checking that out, if you go to the Team Hearth Legends website, you can find all of the deck lists. There's some pretty creative things.
Oh yeah.
So
hey, Squirrel, we're not in the same conference, so you don't have to worry about me doing this. But everyone in my conference already knows this. Like you said, Nate, as soon as decks are submitted, I'm copying those deck codes and I'm playing those decks so I can see how it plays, how it feels, what they need to win, what it feels like to lose, like all the ins and outs. I got this trick from Memnarch. He's a good mentor. my conference is crazy, man. Like it's gonna be tough. It's gonna be tough to get out of there.
Yeah, a lot of them are really good this season.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
so-
the teams are stacked.
Yeah, we're up the Cats team.
Yeah, your team is pretty. Your team is sick, yo. You're in the blue conference, yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, I'm just looking at them.
Or is it green? You're in green or you're in blue?
I think it's brown.
Oh, you're in brown. My bad.
Last
Damn.
season.
Gotta get my colors right.
All right. Well, I'm gonna move on because we're at we just passed the 2-hour mark. So let me I'm gonna pull up this Kingsbane Rogue list. Is this Matt's list?
Yeah. So there's his was a Kingsbane list, but he had stealth in there.
Okay, so this is a Stealth Kingsbane list. It's 2 copies of Buccaneer, 2 Deadly Poisons, 1 Kingsbane, 2 Secret Passage, 2 Sinister Strike. That's interesting. 2 South Sea Deckhands, 2 Spy Mistress, 2 Worgen Infiltrator, 2 Ash Tongue Slayer, 2 Cavern Shiny Finder, 2 Eviscerates, 2 Sneaky Delinquents, 2 Greyheart Sages, 1 Raiding Party, 2 Tinker Sharp Sword Oil, and 2 copies of Cutting Class. This is an interesting list. It reminds me of the other ones in trying to target Darkglare, where it's like I want to go face as fast as I can. I mean, for me personally, like I think that I probably want to use Corbett's list instead if I'm trying to ladder, but like it looks fun. I'll say that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, those Sinister Strikes, I guess, they may not expect it. They take themselves too low, right?
Yeah, it's nice to have a little burst damage in there, and then you have the stealth guys. Just again, they work kind of like burst damage too.
Mm-hmm.
So I think this deck kind of highlights just if you're going to be the aggressor, be the best aggressor out there, right? So,
Well, yeah, you force them to trade, right? I mean,
like the snorkiest version of Kingsbane. Smork. So if you like to smork, try this one out. And if you like just kind of general kind of mid-rangey or maybe a faster mid-range type one, go with maybe Corbett's list.
Okay.
Yeah. But,
All right. So this last one that we have is the one I've been dying to talk about, and I believe this is yours, right? Is this Maligoose Shaman here? So I love this because the package. I think one of the advantages in playing something like this, not only is it good, but like I think that your opponent probably 9 out of 10 times will mulligan incorrectly because they think you're going to be playing even shaman. They think you're going to be playing big shaman. And when you're able to drop a Malygos out of nowhere and just face damage like over and over with the spells, it's a surprise. This is super cool. And again, I'll read the list super quick for the audio listeners. It's 2 copies of Lightning Bloom, 2 Frost Shocks, 2 Lightning Bolts, 2 Totemic Smash, 2 Ancestral Knowledge, 2 Crackle, 2 Devolve, 2 Lava Shock, 2 Maelstrom Portals, 2 Farsights, 2 Healing Rains, 2 Spirit of the Frogs, 1 Ancestor's Call, 2 Hagatha's Schemes, 1 Muckmorpher, 1 Emperor Thorison, and 1 Malygos. I am probably the farthest thing away from an expert on this, but it looks to me like kind of the options to do your OTK type stuff here would be to Emperor and get a tick off of all of your spells to get them reduced. You can Muckmorpher into Malygos, or you can Ancestor's Call into Malygos, and then you just send everything face, right?
Yeah. So this thing is just it's like a glass cannon, right? So you really control the board and then just ship everything towards their face in one spectacular turn. And this deck is got Spirit of the Frog is like the engine of the deck.
Okay.
It's like really underplayed card, in my opinion.
I was gonna say I don't run it very often. Is that the one that says when you play it starts out with stealth, right? And then when you play a spell, you draw another one that's 1 mana more, or something like that?
Yep, that's exactly right. So whenever you play a spell, you draw one that's 1 mana more. So with the addition of Lightning Bloom, you can start that off with, you can do like, Bloom into Frostrock into Crackle, and just, it gets kind of silly. Obviously, we want to use Ancestor's Call and Muck Morpher to put cheap Malgos into play, and then just obliterate them in one turn. It's a lot of fun.
Do you think how viable do you think it is for ladder?
I played it on there.
I want to try it. I'm looking forward to this one. I mean, they all look really fun. Don't get me wrong. They all look super fun, but this is the one that I look at that, like, I feel like the Grinch, with that big evil smile.
Yeah.
Like,
you feel like you're stealing something almost, right?
Yeah.
Like they're beating you up, and then it's like, nope, you're dead.
So I've never played enough Malagos, and this would be a really good one to learn.
Yeah, maybe we can do this for our co-op portion. So yeah, what is the game plan here? You said kind of control the board early. I guess the part that I struggle with is, when I play something like this, I'm always so tempted to save the spells to do face damage versus, so how do you know when to keep them or know when to use them to control the board? Now, I know you have your Maelstrom portals or things that can only, damage the board, Hagatha Scheme or whatever, but like, I guess, like, when do you use a lightning bolt to take out a minion versus when do you save it?
Yeah, so in general, I'll mulligan for Malagos, and then the control spells that don't do face damage. If I happen to get like lightning bolts and totemic smashes and stuff in my opening hand, I'll use maybe like 1 or 2 of them to keep from dying. Like maybe just kill off maybe their first or second minion, but then after that, you really want to focus on drawing your cards and setting up your own combo. With this deck, you can't control the board forever. It's not Reno Priest, it's not Jade Druid or anything like that. Like you have to just survive long enough so that you can ship damage at their face.
Right.
Yeah, and then the other thing too is that when you have Spirit of the Frog, is that you don't really have to worry too much about holding on to a certain burn spell, because they're all going to chain together. Just kind of keep an eye on your deck tracker and make sure that you're going to have enough to actually kill them.
Yeah, that's the tricky part.
Otherwise,
there's some math involved. My other big question is, when do you drop Emperor? Like, do you wait until you have lethal, or do you just do it for? I mean, I imagine it probably varies depending on your matchup, but like,
yeah, it's going to vary from matchup to matchup. Most of the time, if you have a window to play Emperor, I would just play him. Just because if the game starts to go into like turns 8, 9, or 10, then you'll probably have the call, the Ancestor's Call, to finish the game anyways. So you don't want to die with it in your hand if you could have played it. So I mean, if you have the opportunity to play it. Obviously you want to stabilize first, but don't hold on it forever.
Yeah.
Don't with it in your hand.
I mean, we've said it many times, but Emperor sort of has it almost has taunt, right? Because people are so afraid to leave it on the board.
Yeah, definitely. So it's a very good card. If you had a board wipe that you could use, maybe use your board wipe first. But for the most part, it's going to be right to play Emperor, because, like you said, it's got Mega Taunt like written all over it.
Yeah.
Yeah. But that's a fun one. This is one I've actually used a lot in different tournaments that I've kind of had some success with. So I think I used this in the hype tournament that I won, and then the Team One Trick, the second one. I think I used this in too.
Okay.
Cool.
It's good for tournaments. It's definitely good for tournaments, and it is ladder viable as well. So it's fun. It's a good time. You should try it.
I'm going to. I'm looking for something new to play, and Shaman is one that I don't have my 1K yet. I'm not too far off, but I think I'm around 750, 800, or somewhere in there. So I would love to jam some games with this. This looks good.
Cool. Go for it.
All right. What is there any other sort of like synergy or anything here that you wouldn't know just by looking at the deck, or any other like kind of hidden tips and tricks, or like, you know, anything that you keep or toss in the mulligan, that sort of thing?
Like Lava Shock is a card that you can normally keep. You get, because a lot of the spells are based on credit, right? So you might need to cast Ancestral Knowledge to dig, or you might need to, use a Lightning Bolt to kind of stabilize. So keep Lava Shock in mind, because a lot of times you can kind of play like a little bit off curve, and then overload a bunch of your mana crystals and then unlock them with Lava Shock.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
The other thing too is that if you go into a turn with locked up mana crystals and then you Lava Shock, they unlock and you get that mana back.
Yeah.
So just keep that in mind, like when you're trying to figure out your lethals, because like a lot of times you'll be using your spells to kind of control the board, and you'll have this really narrow window where you can actually kill them. And a lot of times that can be done by unlocking your crystals with Lava Shock. So just keep that in mind.
Okay.
Yeah.
I like it. Let's see here. Anything else that's interesting? What does the Frost Shock do again? Is it just it's like one damage and freeze or something like that?
It's just 1 damage and freeze.
Okay. Yeah.
Wow.
It's not bad with Mally though. I mean,
no, it's just think of it like a glacial shard that can also hit them for 6.
Well, and I think that's where you take a deck like this, and it's very nuanced. The way that you play it, I'm sure varies from game to game, because or there's just a lot of decisions to be made. Do I use this Frost Shock to buy myself a turn? Like I can Frost Shock an 8/8 giant and buy myself a turn, right?
Yeah.
So there's a lot of nuance here, or just straight up face damage. I like that too.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's definitely gonna be like, if you're trying this out for the first time, there's definitely gonna be some games that you lose that you could have won, and it's just gonna be a little bit of experience with it. Like you said, like some of the cards look really straightforward, but then there's other applications you can use them for. Like the Frost Shock, like it might be tempting to hit like a 2/1, but you really should probably save that for like one of Darkglare's 8/8s, or like King Bane's. You could use that to pick off one of their little pirates, but you should probably save that for when their Kingsbane actually gets threatening. So
right.
It's fun to learn. It's definitely like a puzzle deck where you got to put all the pieces together. And so if you want something that's a little bit more of a challenge, that's a little bit, a lot off meta, then this is probably something for you.
Cool.
I like it. I tend to play late at night, and so I need to be awake when I play this so I can actually think about the cards. But that's God, this looks fun. This may be the excuse I needed to craft Malygos in gold.
Oh yeah. For sure.
You guys have any other questions?
I just want to learn how to play it.
Right.
Like we talked about it, but I want to do it.
Yeah, agreed.
So for the folks watching this video on YouTube or listening to the audio version of this podcast, if you were not aware, there is a co-op gameplay portion of this show that we do independently. So this show ends, and then we will play some games with one of the decks that we talked about on the show, and we will put that content up on YouTube. And it essentially is some free coaching, if you will. We'll learn how to play one of these decks. We'll play it on ladder and kind of talk through the plays and see how it goes. And so I think this is what we're looking to do tonight, if you guys are all on board with it, is try to figure out how to play this Malygos Shaman deck. So this looks amazing. And as Goliath is reminding us in chat, we for those of you listening to the show who are not aware, we have a long-standing tradition of throwing together a parody song at the very, very end of each episode. And so stay until the end. Listen after we wrap up, and you will join us for a laugh or two. So anyways, I guess that's about it. You guys have anything that you all want to add before we sort of start wrapping things up?
I don't think so.
So we just really want to play this deck.
Go shoot face.
Love it. Okay. All right. Well, let's start signing off then. Hey, Hydralisk, where can people find you if they're looking to interact with you?
You can mostly find me on Twitter at Hydralisk_HS and occasionally on Twitch, also at Hydralisk_HS.
Mike Lowe, what about you?
Yeah, so you can catch me here Friday nights, of course. Bunch of Wild Podcast, live recording. Catch me on Twitch and Twitter at Mike Lowe TV. Next week, it's the 10th, starting the 10th. I'll be doing bigger and longer streams because school's back in session. So I might be doing some days in the school, some days out, but I'll be having more information next week. So even though, the virus hit, I'll still be doing some hours in the school. So now I'll have like a bigger permanent streaming schedule. So it'll be cool.
Nice. Okay. Very
Which
cool.
means I can stream from, our podcast Twitch page and do these battleground lobbies. So I know all the listeners will be excited about that. They keep talking about it. Keep talking about it in Discord.
It'll be a lot of fun. Yeah, absolutely. Mm-hmm. And Squirrel, where can people find you?
Mostly on Twitter at MTG Squirrel 1. Also, I like to hang out in Discord, so if you want to chat there, just head on over to your guys' Discord group. And that's about it.
Very cool. As for me, you can find me primarily on Twitter. It's at NateWolfTCG, NateWolfeTCG. More importantly, you can find the show at www.borntobewildhs.com. We always joke about this. Make sure you include the HS, otherwise you're in for quite a surprise. So it's,
man, yeah. Please make sure you put that HS because oh man, it's crazy if you don't. You think 4 giants on turn 3 is crazy. Like you don't put HS on that website, man.
Especially if you're at work. Don't.
Not safe for work.
Not safe for work whatsoever.
So borntobewildhs.com. From there, you can find all of our content. So there's links to all of our audio podcasts are also there on the webpage. All of our YouTube content is linked from the webpage. Deck lists, all of the guests that we've had on the show, all of their info is up there on the webpage, and then links to our other stuff. So our merch and our YouTube and our Discord channel and all of this other stuff. So, and I would encourage you, if you're looking to hang out with other members of the Wild community, which is the primary purpose of this show, I would highly encourage you to join our Discord channel. There's a lot of people in there. We have a lot of fun. We keep it clean and there's no drama. It's kind of just a bunch of people hanging out. And it's been a load of fun. So the link to that is, again, on our website. And that's about it. The last thing I have is sort of a tradition that we always do.
And now, unrelated advice with Nate Wolf.
So Craig started this a long time ago, and what we'll do each week is ask a kind of bizarre, unrelated advice question from you, completely unrelated to Hearthstone or anything else for that matter. And so for lack of a better question, here it goes. If you could be any animal, what animal would you be and why? Hydra, go.
I would be my cat because she is the most spoiled little cute kitten ever, who everybody adores, everybody cuddles, and she gets treats probably 9 times a day because she coerces everybody into it, and nobody else knows that she's getting the treats. And she's just the cutest little spoiled little brat ever, and I would like to be her. Plus, she sleeps next to my wife, and I like sleeping next to my wife.
Mike, what about you?
Can you repeat the question?
If you could be any animal, what animal would you be and why?
If I have to be an animal, I'm easily going to be like a lion or something. Because I don't want to live in existence where I'm feeble, defenseless, I'm on the bottom of the food chain. You know, I'd rather be up top where no one's really going to bother me. Sounds good to me.
What about you, Squirrel?
Yeah.
Squirrel.
The question is, would you be a squirrel?
Like squirrels are magic, but I don't know if I want to live the squirrel life. That seems...
Oh, come on. I clearly didn't pick squirrel, so you could pick it.
I will never forget.
I was going to take it.
I'll never forget that Disney cartoon Sword in the Stone, where Wart is turning into all the different animals, and one time he turns into the squirrel, and then the little girl squirrel is chasing him and is in love with him. You remember that? Have you guys seen that?
Oh yeah.
Yes.
It's one of the that's one of the best movies of all time.
Life seems kind of hard, so I'd probably go with something kind of cool and creative. Like I'd be like a dinosaur,
like a dragon.
You could like fly around and do whatever you want all day. That'd be awesome.
Or you could barbecue your own food if you were a dragon, right?
You could barbecue your neighbors. I mean,
Like, hey, I gotta go get me some barbecue. You know?
Oh, you could fly around as a squirrel. No problem. Our legendary Siberian flying squirrel.
Or you could have
Everyone knows about
barbecue. You could have barbecued squirrel. That's a dragon.
Or you could.
It's like
have
popcorn. Bunch of little squirrels.
Oh man.
oh god,
Popcorn squirrel. Coming to
Yeah,
your next KFC.
Wasn't that one card that they made? It was like Copper Tail Imposter or something like that. Yeah, all the little tiny squirrels behind him. And I swore that Blizzard was trolling me because they had so many kids that they.
Oh wow.
Wiser
That's messed
words
up.
were never spoken, and you heard that on Born to Be Wild.